Bond is actually there. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Where is James Bond? He's hiding. He's been to the beach. It is too hot for Brosnan. He is within reach.
Oh, hi.
Here is James Bond. There goes James Bond. Down goes James Bond. Up goes James Bond.
Talking of which, actually, I've got a question about social media for you.
Stop
What are you
laughing
laughing
at him.
He's massive and he looks really grumpy.
I've never seen you look grumpy like that, Dredge.
That is that is accurate.
Yeah.
Go on,
This is a live video link to Dredge's actual face. No, you're so efficient.
I've not sent it to you.
Also, Zoom links don't run out after a week. You can set them up a year in advance.
I know, but what I'm saying is, life happens to people in the meantime.
Life is what happens to you while you're busy making other plans.
And my emails get binned and hidden and neglected.
Yeah, we all know about emails getting binned and hidden. It happens to all of us. My beard today. I had it set on a 4.
I came here and I went to the loo, and it looked like there'd been some kind of beard explosion up there.
Which loo did you go to?
Upstairs.
The big one?
Yeah, the nice one.
The
one that you clean. The one.
I did my beard in the ensuite. That wasn't my beard.
Oh God.
Yeah. So I was just because I was enjoying having a bushy beard. Right?
About 10 years.
You must be tired.
And nobody wants to buy any more stuff.
Show me one.
Hang on 2 seconds.
Show me one. Oh. I'm wearing a t-shirt, it's probably its last wear. The words have faded off. She's wearing a leather dress, it's probably the first wear.
Second.
Although it starts to smell. I am Ian, she is Catherine. Welcome to the Late Night Alternative. For losers
Welcome.
like you.
Welcome.
You're a loser.
Welcome to everyone who's not watching Lara Croft flexing by
Lara
a
Croft.
pool.
I don't want to, say goodbye to the lads and indeed some of the lasses, but we did just watch Lara Croft workout by a pool.
She's going to need to work those bikini bottoms back out, and it's
she's
going to take a while.
She's going to need an assistant to pull it out. And no one wants to go up there. That's no man's land. 5,500 viewers of a woman in a bikini eating blueberries by a swimming pool, not really doing exercise.
They thirsty. They thirsty.
Oh, I'm hungry. Welcome. This is the Late Night Alternative. That's what TLNA stands for. Thank you, Sofa Bum, for subscribing. Thank you, Ardeen. Thank you, Ian Bish. Bishy, Bashy, Boshy. Bishy, what's that game? It's a great game. Puzzle Bubble.
Yes.
I love that game.
It's a good game.
Oh, I love.
That's the one with the little dragons, right?
And you got to fire the balls up.
Yeah.
Love it. I love Bubble Bobble.
Bubble.
It's called different things, Joe. Puzzle Bobble, Bubble Bobble. Isn't Bishy Bashy Boshy one? Bishy Bashy Boshy might be a different game. I love Puzzle Bobble, Bubble Bobble. It's such a good game. It's such a good game.
Hey, Joe.
Where you going with that gun in your hand?
Not another one?
Let's get you.
We had a discussion over the weekend.
Bishy Bashy
I
is a different
think you
game.
get my answer there, Glitter Kitty.
Pete says Puzzle Bobble and Bubble Bobble are two totally different games. Okay, that's interesting you say that. I tell you what, let's have a look. So we get Puzzle Bobble. Let's just have a look at the images of Puzzle Bobble. And I think I've got screen 2. Please let screen 2 be set up. There we go. Where's our camera?
Little dragons, as I mentioned.
Where's our camera? If I move you up here. Please stop subbing to us, guys. There we go. Right, so Puzzle Bobble, it's a game. You've got like a little sort of turn thing, and you've got to get the bubble. So that's Puzzle Bobble.
Yeah.
Let's have a look at Bubble Bobble.
Oh.
Okay, Pete, here's what's going to happen. I'm going to give you that. Harsh is you're a prick. Right, no bad language. So much easier not to swear in the daytimes.
Isn't it, though?
It really is. That was fun. I knew that. I know my retro video games better than you guys know it. So you can all get lost. Let's get some phone calls going, guys. Come on, it's a phone-in show. It's not a video game show. It's a phone-in show. I'll do you there in a minute, Hazy. It's a phone-in show, guys. Did you like my pic of my cats I sent you on Twitter last week? I don't know. I mean, loads of... Yeah, I'm going to say yes. I've not...
He will, because he likes cats.
I've yet to see a picture of a cat I don't like. Ian was just destroyed. Time Roger out for 3 minutes, please.
Roger, come on now.
Ryan.
Hello, Ian. Hello, Cap. How are you?
You are very lucky that I've been listening to a lot of classic Bezic.
Oh.
From 1985. And if anyone with a young-sounding voice comes on, he goes, "No, you're too young, goodbye." Straight away. So you're very, very lucky.
That we have no standards. Continue.
No standards here.
Okay.
You're welcome. What can we do for you now? But I'm going to really push the conversation tonight. What have you got for us?
Well, for starters, number one, I want to say thank you for the postcard.
Absolute pleasure. Your postcard should be arriving, guys. We've got 2 more. Now, I address the postcards, and Catherine writes the postcards. We'll show you some of the postcards in a bit, because if you're in the Discord, there's a special postcard section. Also,
and bless your hearts, all of you who are worried about my sanity. You're right to be. You're right to be.
Also, a lot of people didn't know, if you're a tier 2 or tier 3 sub, or a tier 1 sub, if you're a sub to this channel, there's a special Discord section for you. If you link your Twitch and your Discord, a lot of people didn't know that, idiots. You're very welcome, Ryan. I didn't look at the pictures, right? I didn't look at a pile of postcards. I deliberately didn't look at the pictures, except for one where. But anyway, and then Catherine tells me we got one postcard. We got two to America, one to South Korea, one to Paris. And Catherine said, "Oh, did you choose the postcard to go to Paris?" I said, "No." She said, "Oh, because the picture is really close to
where
the address. It's like round the corner." And I didn't look. Swear to God, I didn't know about it. That's free, Ryan. If that ain't proof of something supernatural going on, I don't know what is. Okay, I'm doing quite a lot of the work here, Ryan. So let's just get to your point, and then we're going to move on with the show.
That was it, really.
Thank you very much indeed.
Okay.
I've made a decision. Mm-hmm. I'm doing less work in the phone calls. If people phone up and they haven't, I don't want to scare your phone in. But come on, I'm doing a lot of the driving
Without
here.
wanting to tell you how to suck eggs, if you phone somebody up, normally you're the one who's initiating the call.
Come on.
So could we try that? Could we try the normal rules of phone calls?
I want to try and find, I really want someone, so I've been listening to these old Alan Beswicks, thank you to Charlie Wolf. There's some great adverts on there, and I really want someone just to pull the adverts off, because I just want to play the adverts as though they're our ads. These are in a slightly different order to how they're on my phone. Here we go. Right, I'm going to try and find... Just bear with me. I want to find one that's got some adverts. Zero.
So this is from Red Rose Radio, which of course is a Yorkshire-based.
Lancashire.
Is it?
Lancashire. Yeah.
Oh God, I'm going to be in trouble for not knowing that.
Yeah, you will. I've got to go right back to. Got to go right back in time. Bear with me. Honestly, some of these adverts.
Oh, blimey, Preston.
Some of these adverts are astounding. Let me just look on my phone, because I'm listening to them on my phone, right? And they come up in a slightly different order. And I want to play some of these adverts. Some of you will get a kick out of this. Some of you are going, well, it was boring. Well, you know what? I reckon if we go to which one's this? Red Rose Beswick show, August 1985.
Oh, he's got a lovely tash there.
Red Rose Beswick. Hang on. Red Rose late night show, Red Rose Beswick 002B. Bear with me, guys. Someone basically sent me, is this Charlie Wolf's fault? Not the Charlie Wolf. He sent me too many. Here we go.
There is a lot.
Zero. There was an advert for Instagram. In 1985. Here we go. 001 002B. Here we go. Let's try this one. So just bear with me.
To get this majority. Who have you canvassed to get this majority? Asked about. I don't even know what.
What's interesting, right? I was listening to it in my headphones thinking, why do these phone calls sound weird? The phone calls sound... This is 1985. The quality of the phone call, audio quality, is so much better.
Because of landlines.
Because they're on a landline. Some of them, it sounds like they're almost in the studio. It's incredible.
Happy now, what do you want?
Well, what I'd like to say is that some people pay more tax than others.
And some don't pay any at all.
Yep, and yet they all get
as greatly.
Disgraceful that these companies are...
I think about...
Tell you what, though, something that hasn't changed.
Mr. Allgett.
Yeah, moaning.
Yeah, but he does
ringing him up for a moan.
He does a posh voice.
A gong holder at the moment.
Yeah, he does it.
Well, couldn't you enjoy stuffing them down your throat?
No, I could, not as much as I would enjoy stuffing bricks down yours. Hello.
Someone says, is it true, Alan, you like Mars bars? Yes, I do. Have you ever had one shoved up your arse? No, I haven't.
To William.
Hello, Alan?
Yes.
I'd just like to ask you, what do you think about women playing cricket?
I do not give answers to questions like that unless someone expresses an opinion. I have got nothing to say. Did you say Dane?
So I'll get to the advert.
Where some technology has been used so easily is the important.
I think it's about 20 minutes.
Because as soon as you say it cannot be done, not.
I wasn't...
So when he says, cannot be done...
If there ever was a conflict between Britain and Russia, God forbid,
I'm not saying that at all. It assures us. I don't speak
Get
for
to the adverts
CND,
and
I
then we'll
speak
crack
for
on
me.
with the show.
Turkish doner kebab.
Here we go. Here we go.
Assures
Here we go. Here we go.
deters
Here we go.
such
I
an
love
attack.
this.
Can you firmly
I'm gonna
believe that
pull
if
all
we
this
did not
off.
have nuclear weapons in Britain,
These adverts are great. So it's a local
I'm sorry?
radio,
do you believe that
1985.
if we did not have nuclear bases in Britain, then we would be less likely to be
It's a
attacked?
warm up to the show.
That is what I believe.
Everyone can remember an advert from
And
local
that-
radio
that is
from
what-
when they were kids.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
guess CND believe. I mean, I'm not
Here we go.
criticising
Thank you,
them in
Katie,
any
for
way.
the
Alright.
sub.
I don't
You were
speak
missed
for
at the
CND,
meeting
I
the
speak
other
for
day.
me.
Everyone else's ideas were awful.
Yeah.
Awful.
We were just nodding and smiling and thinking, where's Kate?
Where's Kate?
Okay.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Cheers. Well, that's what it comes down to. That's the question. Tommy or Tony?
Tommy.
Tommy, I'll do.
All right. I'd like your advice on something.
I said earlier I'm not giving any more advice tonight.
What is great as well is he's obviously got a lot of phone calls, so he can just cut them off after
Yeah.
5 seconds, and there's someone
Exactly,
there
none of it.
ready to come on.
And I meant it.
For a tasty treat with a difference, try genuine Turkish kebabs from as little as £1.50 for a large Turkish doner kebab. And
It's a kebab shop.
A large Turkish doner kebab.
It's a kebab shop. Is doing an advert.
Yeah.
the
Also, they're breaking down the prices of the menu.
In-N-Out Kebab licensed restaurant and takeaway. Open every evening till 3 a.m. at 71A Dixon Road, Blackpool.
I bet that was a place.
That's the In-N-Out Kebab licensed
Yeah, in and out straight away.
Exactly.
restaurant and takeaway. Call in for a free taste.
Here's some important news from
Who's this?
Dave Barron Caravans.
Hang on a minute. Call in for a free taste.
Yeah. Who's this?
They've just made a bulk purchase of the new 1985
Well,
It's James Whale, isn't it? It's James Whale.
models of ABI Eldest Towing Caravans. They bought in bulk so you save money. Over
Sounds young to me.
£1,200 off the list price on selected models, or very attractive part exchange allowances.
I always think with stuff like this, there's a little bit of tape speed. I think old tapes speed up a little bit. I don't know when this stuff was digitised, but
I listen to your old stuff and it sounds...
high pitched.
Yeah, but actually your voice sounds more smoky,
Yeah, yeah.
obviously.
Hurry to Dave Barron Caravans.
I wasn't smoking then.
No.
Oh, not when I
It
was
was
doing the
closer
radio.
to the time when
yeah,
you
yeah,
were-
yeah, yeah.
Chapel Lane, Copple near Chorley. A lot of tile companies do a lot of shouting about their so-called unbeatable offers. They make a lot of noise but never really have anything
going on
worthwhile to
about
offer. At File Tilecraft, we don't have to resort to unfulfilled promises, bogus bargains and misleading discounts. Our prices on ceramic tiles really are the lowest
Love
in the
these
area.
adverts. I'm actually enjoying these adverts more than I'm enjoying the Bezic stuff. I love it. I could, and then there's old news. A really big plane crash, Japanese plane crash, killing 560 people. 4 survivors walked away with minor injuries.
Blimey.
Bit of the tail fell off over the ocean.
That'll do it.
Wouldn't it?
Try the others if you like, but if you want a real bargain...
Oh, hello,
Uh-oh.
James.
Time machine's broken.
James, come back. James. James. James, hello. That's not my internet, is it? My internet's been a little bit.
Oh.
We're still streaming, right?
Yeah.
Come on. Well, what's going on? We've got to go back in. I want to hear one. We've heard enough. We've heard enough.
You get it.
You
The
get
olden
it.
days, weren't they funny?
I might do a show. What's wrong?
Nothing.
You hot?
No.
I'm hot.
I am hot.
Is
But
the heating
I'm
on? I don't
fine.
think the heating's
no,
on.
I'm fine. What were you going to say? You might do a show of what?
Of listening to those, like breaking them down and listening to them.
Do it, Mum.
Thank you for the sub, Everton Derek. Share your sub anniversary in chat. Let Dylan know you've been sub for 3 months. I think you've just shared them. You've just shared, you've subbed for 3 months. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thanking you so much. 0203 286 6370 is the phone number. It is a phone-in show. So call in for crying out loud. Wianto, thank you for the sub. I think it's time
Yes.
that I think it's time for me. I think it's time for my Billy Joel phase.
Okay.
Not another one?
I think it's time. I think every man needs to have a Billy Joel phase, and I think mine is approaching.
Haven't you already had one?
I don't know if I have. Would you do a reverse stream ever where we give out you our numbers and you call us? What? No, because do you know why? Do you know why we wouldn't do that? Because people would give us wrong numbers and we'd phone up
Yeah,
people.
it would be
and get
hilarious.
that.
There'd be hilarious consequences.
So Ryan says, "Oh my, is he that guy you eat a jacket potato? What, Billy Joel?
I'm sure he has.
I bet Billy Joel has never had a jacket potato.
He will have had a stuffed jacket.
They do it in America with steak. Instead of steak and chips, you get steak and jacket potato. That's not
I
right.
like that.
I'll have steak and mash.
Steak, jacket potato, and salad.
No, not a jacket potato.
Oh,
That's
right.
a jacket potato is a meal on its own.
No, I've had it.
0203 286 6370. What's your weirdest food
Actually, on
combination?
Friday, now you've said that, I said, oh, can't be bothered to cook properly. Shall we just have jacket potatoes for tea?
I love a jacket potato.
To which the response was, yeah. And some salad. And some cut meat. And I went, whoa, this has turned into a spread. I meant literally just jacket
God,
potatoes.
your family is so common. Oh, not common. I don't even know if it's northern. Old-fashioned. Jacket potato, salad, meat.
It's not northern, he's from Luton.
Right. Okay. Well, maybe it's my people then. Maybe it's closer to my people, but it is. That is
Cod
like
meat,
Sunday tea.
little bit of cheese. I went, whoa, this has turned into a spread. I was just suggesting I'd put a few potatoes in the oven. We can stick some beans on.
Can we time Hazy out, please? Hazy said, "Have you had your Phil Collins phase yet? Get out of here." I heard a great Billy Joel song.
Is it Joel? Or is it Joel?
Am I thinking of Superman's dad? Doesn't matter. By the way, don't watch that 4-hour Zack Snyder's Justice League. Oh, justice fatigue is what I was
Good one.
had at the end of it. Boring, man. What a boring film. There was a great song. It popped up on my Spotify. It was called like Sensimonium or Enjoy Life. What was it called? It was called something like that.
Is that even a word?
Yeah, it was called Flambe the Night. It was something like that.
Something.
It's a great
Something
song.
exotic, it sounds like.
It's a great song. It was Land Honey. No, what was it called?
There is.
Summer Highland Falls. What a song.
Really?
Yeah, actually.
Is it from what period, Joel, are we talking?
From an album called Turnstiles.
All right, I liked him then.
76.
Right.
76. So it's got the same album that's got New York State of Mind.
Oh, mate.
I just don't know ya. State of mind.
All you want to do is dance. What's that?
We'll find out in a minute.
Oh, can't wait.
Hello, caller. The phone number works, and the phone number works.
It works like any other phone number. We would love to talk to you.
Hey, man, what can we do to help you?
Welcome to the EE voicemail. I'm sorry, but the person you
Tell you what,
called
dude,
is not
leave
available.
your address. We'll send you some balls.
Might be a lady.
Yep.
Mind you, we all need them, don't we?
You gotta have them. You gotta need them. You gotta know when to hold, when to feed them. Balls, everybody loves balls. Everybody loves balls. Balls. Balls.
And that song was called Balls.
Hey, balls.
That's from his album, Balls and That.
All right, I could stay in my head, Jesus.
It looks good.
Only another month to go, guys.
You know what this is turning into? That politician, Tarzan.
Heseltine?
Yeah.
What, me?
The front is turned into a Heseltine, like the top of a violin.
I'm Michael Heseltine. That's Brian Walden. But they're
Yes.
very similar. You're saying I look like Heseltine?
No, I'm saying the hair, the front there, is turning into the full.
Michael Heseltine. No, it... Oh,
Yes,
jeez.
yes, it is.
Holy guacamole. My God. Let's get a... Where did that picture go? Oh, my God. Look.
Yeah.
It's the Hez.
Christmas time. Michael Heseltine.
Oh, look at him there. I'm clicking the wrong thing. Look at him.
You haven't got the eyebrows to match.
That's Kirk Douglas with a baby on his back. Kirk Douglas with a baby on his back. He got blown up, didn't he, Michael Heseltine?
Yes, I think
His
he did.
wife was very seriously injured.
No.
Right. Yes?
Was it a different person?
Nope.
Okay.
Don't. Stay
I'm not gonna Google it.
Stay away from that good old.
I believe you.
Because there's something down there. Norman Tebbit.
So I was right. It wasn't him.
He was at the place.
Yeah.
Can we time Richard All Sorts out, please? And Draghi, you cannot say he is hijacking a baby.
The baby's hijacking him, actually.
Yeah. Take this politician to Cuba. Phone us up, you absolute melts. So here's...
I've been to Cuba, it's nice. Well, I bet it's nicer now. We were only allowed to look at certain bits of Cuba and we always had a minder.
Dun, 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 dun. If you want to, could you post the link to the Alan Beswicks, please? They're on the
Discordio.
The Discordio. I will post them actually, but let me find them again. I will post them.
Oh, so my hairdresser finally got in touch.
Oh, this is it.
And she said, yeah, I'm coming back on the 14th. Anyone want an appointment? I got back in touch with her probably within 30 seconds. The soonest she could do was the 22nd. There's a lot of anxious women with mops need sorting out.
Yeah. Happy lockdown anniversary. I think it's today. I think it's a
Is
year.
it just 1 year? It was like 10.
Just 1 year. I'll show you what I did today. We've got some good stuff.
We're actually having lives now. It's a very strange experience.
So let me show you what I did today. That Mickey Dolenz sings Mike Nesmith album. Someone tweeted the other day, it's a really good idea.
Cracking
Yeah.
idea.
It's a brilliant idea. I wonder who came up with that and is no longer involved with the project. I wonder whose idea that was and will get no credit.
But he's fine with it. Hey, MZ Plays, thank you for the gifted tier 1 sub.
Hey, MZ Plays, why only tier 1? What's your problem?
Oh, she's having a moment.
Why?
She's having a moment.
What's wrong? Oh, she's on a period. She's got PMS or PMT, depending where they are. She's gonna have stomach grumbles, gonna hurt down below. She's gonna be so sensitive. Treat her with kid gloves. Be nice and offer her gentle tummy rubs. Make her a chamomile tea. And if she says get lost, say yes, MZ.
That is the correct protocol. Well done.
That's it.
Finally learning.
I know how to treat people with respect. So this is my day today. Hey, I get to hug my mum for the first time in over a year.
Isn't that beautiful?
Yes, man. I get to hug my mum for the look at that. I got tears multiplying. My apron. You can't see the apron there. The apron. I went to see my mum. Today we're allowed to visit. One person is allowed to visit, and when they say one person, it means I'm the only one that's allowed to visit her until So my sister very kindly let me go. My sister went to the hospital with her a couple of times, and she's very, and I live much nearer. So thank you, Joe, for that. And I wasn't sure what to expect. I told you that we were going to be meeting outside.
Yeah.
And I got there, I had to phone in and say, I'm here, I'm in my car. They came out and we did the old, lateral flow test. I passed. And they said, right, if you go round the back of the building, she's in a care home, you go around the back of the building, she'll be waiting for you outside. And I was like, okay, fine, it's a little courtyard. And I came in, so I stood outside in the courtyard, and then I saw Mum inside. This is where there's a physiotherapy bit there, but you don't use it. And the carer waved me in, and I stood at the door. I haven't been in that care home for over a year. And I stood at the door and I said, am I actually allowed to come in? She went, yeah. I can cross this line. She went, yeah. So I came in, I had to wear one of their masks, had to have gloves, had to have an apron. And Mum sat about 5 foot away from me. And we had a really nice chat, and after about 30, well, actually I got there a bit early, so about 40 minutes, the carer kind of put her head around the door and went, I was like, not a problem, because they got, they can have one visitor at a time, so not a problem, that's great. And, I texted a picture of me and my mum in the background to my kids who were at school, but then I got a reply from my youngest, said, oh, that looks good. Let me show you the message he sent me later. And I said, what, why are you, he said, I'm off school sick. I said, I'm phoning you. So they got to say hello to each other. He sent me the best message. So he replied, tell her I say hi. That's when we called. And then I said, then as we're going, right, the carer came in and another carer came in, like the odd job man, Bob, came in. And I said, Mum, and I took all my stuff off. I said, Mum, hopefully soon I'll be able to give you a hug. And Bob, the odd job man, said, oh, you're allowed to if she wears an apron and a mask. And the first carer went, oh, I'm so sorry, I didn't know. I've not been doing visits, I didn't know. So I got suited up again. Mum got suited up. And as she's getting suited up, I started crying. She started crying. Everyone very discreetly went and shut the door. Yeah. And we hugged. I got to hug my mum for the first time in a year. And I was kissing her on the head. And I got to hold her and you know, say how much I loved her. And we both were able to say, this year has been so shit. We've kind of... Mum's slightly oblivious. She's with it, but she's slightly oblivious to what's going on, but she's with it. But a lot of us have had to kind of suck it up a bit. You know, actually how tough this is. And I'm aware that I'm in a very privileged position. But we've had to suck it up and kind of get on with it. And when we were hugging, and she was obviously sat in her chair, and I'm hugging her and kissing her on the head, I was able to let go of it. And I said, this year has been so shit. I'm so sorry that we've all had to go through this. I'm so sorry. And, it's magic. I got to hold her for about 2 or 3 minutes. I got to hold her and kiss her and then take a picture so I could post it on social media and look fab to all of my followers. I'm joking, because I wanted to treasure it. And I sent that to my boys, and so pleased that one of my boys was able to get to speak to her for the first... Not spoken to her grandkids in over a year. A little bit on Zoom, actually. That's not completely true. They have been there for some of the Zoom stuff. And I got to hold her. Jeez. And I was in floods of tears, and I came out and I was just sobbing. I was sobbing through joy, but also sobbing at just how awful this last 12 months have been. A year.
Yeah.
A year of this.
It's the lost time as well, isn't it? It's the wasted time, not being able to be close to the people that you love, and especially if they've not been well. You know, it feels like we've been robbed of that time.
You've not been. Your mum has been ill as well. You know, so you've had to be kind of double. She's fine now, I believe. Yeah. I'm not breaking any confidence, but you've had to be double careful around her.
Yeah, and she lives around the corner.
Yeah,
I do a lot of standing on the end of the drive with shopping. I do a lot of that.
Been so awful, hasn't it? This last year has been just the worst. And I'm so lucky that I haven't had anyone close to me pass as a result of this. I know lots of you have.
Yeah, I was talking to Ryan McGuinness on Twitter today, Eddie Large's boy.
Yeah, oh yeah.
It's been a year nearly.
Of course, I know he was very early on, wasn't he? Very early on.
You know, he's thinking about, you know, the last thing he said to him being so normal because no one had any clue that it was going to be anything different. And he was just, I'm going to go and get Mum something to eat. I'll be back in a bit.
Yeah.
Last time he saw him.
What a year. What a year. We're coming out of it. I've got a feeling we're probably going to have another year of this.
I think we might.
I think we got another year because it looks like there's balls up with, as I predicted.
Well, and there's now talk of this third wave and Boris saying it will land on our shores. Well,
yeah, of course it will. So we've got another one coming. Give me that Johnson & Johnson vaccine. 1 dose.
Is there a Johnson & Johnson?
1 dose of the J&J.
Gosh.
1 jab. 1 jab. Here's the thing. Midas says, I don't think I could cope with another year. I don't think...
it's not going to be full on, I don't think.
What do we know? I'm going from what I'm hearing and picking up, and I've been pretty smart.
I'm expecting masks to linger.
But if you'd have said a year ago, right, you're not going to be allowed out of your house for pretty much a year, you wouldn't have thought you could do it. We've done it.
Well, you being the way you are, said immediately, oh, this is it. This is going to be it for about a year. But you thought we weren't going to be allowed out of the house for a year. Yeah,
I also said it would go on for 2 or 3 years before we kind of... I think we got another year. But I got to hug my mum, and I'm not showing off. I'm showing it because I think it's... I mean, look how happy... You can see how happy we both are. We were both in tears. My poor mum, you know, and got to touch her. Got to touch her and hold her and kiss her, and it was just... good luck, Annie.
Oh, Annie's in the chat.
Hey, Annie.
Hello, Annie. So nice to see you.
Yeah, it was
here's the other thing, Annie, and my grandparents have all gone in the last sort of five years or so, and there were moments during this that I was thinking, And it sounds terrible. So I'm glad they didn't live through this. I'm glad they weren't.
Yeah.
In this. Isn't that awful? Isn't that an awful thing to think? But I'm sure I'm not the only one.
Yeah.
Man alive. What a year.
What a year. What a year. If you want to give us a call, 0203 286 6370. If I miss your phone call, as I often do, I call you back. We're calling this guy back. Boom, chicka, boom, 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 boom. Hello? Oh, hello?
Hello.
Hello.
Oh, jeez. Hello there.
Now I can hear you.
What is that?
What is that?
What's going on there? Why is it doing that?
Oh, God.
You talk. I need. Oh, hang on. Just say something. I don't know if they can hear you. Yeah, they can hear you. I just need to change something here. You talk to Catherine while I do something boring.
Peter.
Catherine.
It's so nice to see you. All right.
Yeah, you too. I will receive the vaccine on Tuesday.
Yes, mate.
I haven't got the button. Otherwise, I'd play it.
You get a double bell.
Yeah, tomorrow.
Oh, now how do you feel about it?
You know what? The actual jab bit, I feel fine about. It's the fact that I've not been anywhere sort of really past my back garden for the last 3 or 4 months. I feel really just kind of unfit and things, and I know it. You know, it's not a short journey to make. Most of it's on the train, but yeah. So that's actually the worst bit of it, kind of making the journey out.
Yeah.
The actual jab, I mean, I'm fine. You know, and even if I have a bit of a reaction, it's like, well, it's a few days feeling a bit rotten. It's like, you know, with COVID, I'd have been fine if that, you know, if there wasn't a danger of it escalating, which obviously there isn't with the vaccine. I'm kind of fine being ill for a few days. I'm not one of these people who gives up at the first sight of a headache. It's,
right.
Tough guy. We've got a tough guy here, Catherine.
Yeah.
It's strange though, isn't it? Every now and again, I find a little barrier that I didn't realise I'd put up. Like when we first were able to go into shops again, I remember calling Ian a mess, having avoided the shops for so long, feeling not frightened, but just really bloody nervous about venturing in again. And there'll be other steps that will make me feel like that again. Like I suppose like the first trip back to the cinema, or, you know, going into a restaurant or something like that, you know.
Well, you know, because I've been living at my mum's for most of this, and because she works in a supermarket, I've pretty much not had to go to shops. And, you know, I sort of went for a bit in the brief period we had when things weren't locked down. But yeah, going and as you say, just going to a shop with other people in and
Tell you what though, I went in on Saturday to my local Tesco, and it was the first time I've been in there when it was actually chocker to the point of like being old-fashioned in the old-fashioned days. And I remember everyone moaning when they moved all the aisles closer together because you felt like you were permanently in someone's way.
Bye, Annie. See you later. Thank you for popping in.
Except now it's this as well, and you think, I'm not used to seeing this amount of people. You can't get the right amount of distance. I almost put the basket down and left because it just felt almost too much. But
yeah, no, I mean, you know, as I say, mum's been working in it, and there's some days she could just come home and be like, you know, it's Piccadilly Circus Day, they're all having a party, and although obviously that's an exaggeration, it's like that's how it feels, you know.
I don't think it takes too many. I think that it doesn't take too many people to feel like too many people.
No,
I mean, doesn't sound like it makes sense, but you know what I mean, right?
People.
You know, she gets her vaccine on Wednesday, so we're on the road to being sort of sorted. But I was feeling kind of, I mean, making it all about me, but I was feeling kind of guilty sat through the last 10 minutes because, as I say, I have been living in the same, and we don't really do hugs and stuff.
Do you do French kisses?
Oh, come on.
Oh.
He's the one who said he was going to masturbate over the picture of me with my mum. You said that.
Did you say that, Pete?
Sound
like you.
This is what. Explain yourself, Pete. Sorry, I must have misunderstood the tissue comment. Please explain to Catherine. Please explain to Catherine.
I thought you mean his eyes?
No, right. So
oh God, Pete,
what happened
please.
It's worse than you think, Catherine.
Ian posted the photo.
Yeah.
and obviously he had lots of lovely replies.
This beats Puzzle Bobble. Go on.
Lots of many lovely. I'm just trying to find out exactly what I said so I can try and defend.
He's got to go to the records. He's got to go to the records. It's so dodgy.
He's kept the receipts.
It's so dodgy.
Let's see him.
Come on, Pete.
Right.
Here we go. Here's his defence.
So someone posted, "I need some tissues," crying face, heart emoji, and all I said.
Oh God.
All I said.
What did you say, Pete?
For me too.
Goodbye. Disgusting. Disgusting. Goodbye. Goodbye.
Sorry, Pete, but you are a dirty boy.
Pete is cancelled, Roger. That we got an opening for a new mod. Just want to check. I don't think something's showing up on my thing that should be showing up on the thing.
My. You never can tell with people, can you?
Max, are you here? I need to check something. I don't need to check anything. I need to check something. You speak to... Oh, God, they're all coming now. Hello there. Hello.
Yes. Can we help you?
Well, touching moment there, not trying to step on Tateford's thing there about Ian and his
I've got a
mum.
Tateford. I forgot I had a Tateford. I'm so busy getting the shop sorted out. I forgot I had Tateford.
I just wanted to say, Kath, that I'm very much with you on the comment. The first thing I thought of when I went into lockdown is, thank goodness my dad isn't around to suffer this. And it's horrible.
And it's a shitty thing to think, right? But
yep, absolutely terrible. But it's the first thing I thought of. So terrible.
Okay.
How was the tier 3 and mod meeting?
None of your business.
Turns out.
Just generally inquiring.
None of your business.
Just, as a fan
None
the
of your
show.
business. None of your business.
Not a bit lacking?
No, actually.
Maybe an idea?
No. Huh? We're doing... Do you want to know the big thing that came from that meeting?
We've got a brilliant thing that's coming out of that meeting.
Let's just say Catherine bought a tombola yesterday.
Yeah, they haven't got a red one. I've had to change it for blue.
Okay.
They ran me today.
We're doing a May Day fate.
Is that going to get you a lot of tier 2 subscribers, though?
Don't want them. Don't want any more.
Don't want money.
We're really happy with the ones we've got, thank you.
Well, it's disappointing, but I understand. I've got nothing else to say, so I'm going to hang up.
He's got nothing else to say, like he had anything to say at the start of that phone conversation.
Tateford, meanwhile, is trying to defend himself in the chat, feeling a lot of judgment from the chat guys. You weren't there, you don't know.
When it says,
it wasn't none,
when
it was
says,
a dodgy tweet.
And say anything. It don't mean making jokes about masturbating over my 70-year-old mother who is living in a care home.
Yeah.
I mean, she's hot, but come on. Max, thank you. Max, can I ask, Max has donated a lot of money.
Oh, thank you, Max.
Max, thank you. He says to spend it on pizzas for the kids. I don't think so. Thank you. Can I just ask, it's not shown up on here. Did you do it a slightly different way, is what I want to ask, because it's not shown up on here. But Max has donated £150.
Oh, my goodness, Max.
Oh, I sent you some money earlier on, by the way. So
Thank you
got
very
that?
much.
Okay. Max, thank you. If anyone wants to donate, there you go.
Also, someone in the chat is suggesting bunting. I've got bunting I can bring. I've got loads of bunting.
Yeah. We're doing a fate. That came from Gemma's suggestion.
Yes.
About...
can we do a tombola?
It was a raffle.
A raffle, and it spiraled.
It spiraled. Pete is going to redeem himself by being a dirty...
Morris dancer.
Kath's going to dance around my maypole. So we're doing it. What day is the week is May the 1st? Because we're doing it.
Oops, there we go.
You will be. May the 1st is a Saturday, so we're going to do it on Monday, May the 3rd. It's happening. Max, thank you. Did you donate in a slightly different way? Because I'm sort of confused it hasn't shown up there, but thank you. Hello, caller.
Hello.
Good evening, Ian and Catherine.
Hey!
Roger.
You cancelled, Pete.
Oh.
I know, it was beyond the pale, that one, Roger. I mean, we put up with some stuff on this.
I consider Pete a very good friend, and I'm shocked.
Yeah, dump him.
You never know people. You think you know people.
Disgusting. Listen, I'm not saying disabled people can't have sex. Of course they can, but not my mum. Not with Pete, because I don't want to have to one day call Pete Dad.
Daddy.
That would be a scary thought.
Yeah, wouldn't it?
Oh, Hazy, well done. The fake night alternative.
There we go. Thank you, Billy. Thank you, Billy. Appreciate it. Roger, how may we be of assistance to you?
Since we've been on the subject of lockdown and what's going on and the vaccine and stuff, I just thought I'd give you an update.
Dadford! Ah! I love the fact that Pete has morphed into Gatford in terms of his names. Yes, update please, Roger.
Tell us.
I started feeling it after a few hours. My arm really hurt. And when I woke up Friday morning,
dropped off.
I was really ill.
What jab did you have?
I had the AstraZeneca.
Have you had COVID before?
No.
Okay, because the again, this is just my research, guys, that the mainstream media won't tell you about.
Because it's not been proven.
I have heard many stories of people who've had COVID, had the AZ, been ill for 2 or 3 days.
Right.
That's what I've heard. I don't know.
But it could be just the AZ.
Very few stories. I think Roger might have had COVID and doesn't know it.
Well, then that's absolutely something you cannot disprove.
Exactly. So
all right,
you're agreeing with me.
That's science, is it now?
She's agreeing with me. She's agreeing with me. She's doing it in the voice of she's not agreeing with me.
I am.
The words are agreeing with me. The voice is disagreeing with me. This
Hang on
is
a
blowing
second.
my mind.
Hang on a second. I know how I'll agree with you more.
Yeah, she's gonna go. Look, she stood up. She stood up. Here we go. I don't know what she's doing, Roger.
Yeah, I'm watching this on a delay.
She's putting on a lab coat. Here we go. I don't know where my lab coat is. My boys might have stolen it.
Well, I will not be respecting your
But yeah, it were. Yeah, I'd liken it to. I'd liken how I felt on Friday to mild flu.
Send them to the right people.
Yeah. How you feeling now, Big Rog?
Still got fatigue, which is giving me.
You're quite a lazy man anyway.
I couldn't possibly comment.
Oh, I'm gonna milk it. Listen, everyone, go and have the freaking Go and have the.
That's all I want to say. Even though my arm still hurts, I'm feeling tired, and I'm sleeping great. I said that much. I'm sleeping
Dave
great.
says, Jussie, have the jab and man the F up.
Have the jab.
I got called out by an anti-vaxxer at the weekend.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. You know about that. They were an anti-vaxxer, the person that called me out for something else.
Oh, really?
Yeah, anti-vaxxer.
Jeez.
It took away a lot of the sting of being called out for male entitlement, which I am.
Oh, that. Yeah, that.
I don't want to go into that here. It's not really the forum, but I was called out for male entitlement.
Roger, I'm going to give you a full examination. Would you open your mouth and say "ah," please?
Your mouth, Roger! Your mouth!
Let's have a look.
I'm glad I'm not on camera because I'm probably blushing now.
Let's have a look down there. Do it.
But
yeah, you're fine. Just moaning.
As I said on Thursday, you don't know which vaccine you're going to get.
No.
You're told.
Yeah.
You're having the AstraZeneca.
Yeah.
And you'll be grateful for it.
They're all as effective as each other because they're on about the different efficacy rates, and that's like the Pfizer's like 94%.
Are you allowed? I think I know the answer to this. Are you? Does it work if you have jab 1 Pfizer, jab 2 AstraZeneca?
They're testing that.
Oh, in that case, I don't know the answer.
As far as I know, they are currently testing that to see whether they can mix and match jabs.
Wow. Okay, I didn't know that. I thought that was going to be straight out.
They do keep it on your record which jab you've got and which jab
I want
you've
the
had.
Johnson & Johnson one.
I can tell you, according to the Yorkshire Post.
The what?
The Yorkshire Post.
The what?
The Yorkshire Post's good, actually.
Okay.
76%,
I reckon. I'd say about 75, 76% successful rate.
Let's see.
But as I said, the efficacy
You should
rate...
receive the same vaccine for both doses.
When was that story posted, please?
It was posted on the
9th of February
9th of
20.
Feb.
Old news. That's I've got my computer. That's old news.
Good one.
You're supposed to be the journo.
I am.
All right, Roger. Bye. Thanks very much. Let's talk about our wonderful sponsors. This show could not happen
According
with...
to
Okie dokie.
CDC, every effort should be made to ensure patients get the same vaccine.
What date was that, please?
another date.
What
Anyway,
date was that?
It was also February.
Right.
Science.
We're in
Science and
March,
progress.
virtually May now. Talk to me about these guys. I love these guys
Oh,
so much.
34sp.com.
Oh, yeah.
If you've got a conspiracy website that needs to happen, God knows we don't need any more. But if you wanted to set up your own website, you can do so with the help of 34sp.com.
Yeah, baby.
You know what I mean? Jelly bean. They do WordPress. Rather, you'll do WordPress. They'll give you all the tools you need, and they'll give you, if you use the code TLNA, 3 months to try it out for now.
Hugging and a kissing in the back row of the movies.
I don't know how that's
.com.
relevant.
It's
Okay.
probably still available.
It's probably still
What's
available.
the longest? Here's a bit of fun.
Wait,
34sp.com.
wait,
What's the longest website address?
Really long.
What's the longest website address? Give us a call, 0203 286 6370. Do let us know your weirdest food combinations. Actually heard a phone in the other night.
Yeah.
BBC Radio Solent.
I saw where that came from.
What's your weirdest food combinations?
I saw where that came from. It came from...
I'm so sorry, Catherine. You taking off a white medical gown to reveal a leather dress. If this isn't getting us 5,000 viewers, I don't know what is.
This will only hurt a little, and not me. Yeah, it came from a newspaper article of people sifting through Reddit, calling themselves journalists.
Radio Solent.
Yeah.
I listened to them. So I listened to it, and it was a male presenter, and he said, "Okay, we're gonna, Susie, why don't you remind us what we're talking about?" And then the woman, I don't know what her name was, the woman went, "Well, tonight's phone-in is what are your weirdest food combinations?" And Alex, I think you've got Stephen on line 2. I think she spoke too much. I switched it off and I chopped my nose off.
It was the olden days on the radio, and that shit still flies now. Anyway, 34sp.com's right modern. So if you want to set up your own website, 34sp.com are the people. They are fantastic. They're brilliant on the end of the phone if you need help with your setup, and they speak human. So don't worry about it being overwhelming. They'll sort you out. No problem at all.
Abigail.
As will Abigail.
Abigail, sort out your mind, your body, your soul, your spirit. Not your mind. Well, your mind to a certain extent. Your body to a certain extent. If you are, I hope you don't need to use them. I hope you don't need to use them.
Yeah.
They're good people. They're great people. I went there for a few days to kickstart my recovery after a cheeky little relapse around the old luggage late last year. And I am 92 days clean and sober. Yeah, baby. It's a treatment recovery. We've got some posts, by the way. Treatment Recovery Centre. They got one in Gloucester. They got one in Glasgow. Really nice centre, actually. Very, very nice centre. Lovely building in Gloucester. It's a new one in Glasgow. And they will help you get clean. Sorry.
The batteries are fading there.
Go and have a look
They
at
employ a lot of people who
UK. I've not finished talking.
Well, you do it to me.
I don't. Yeah, but when I do it, I'm saying something important. When I'm neurodiverse. I'm differently. I'm
Well, I might.
wired.
I might be.
You're. I was going to call you dick diverse then, and that actually sounded sexual. I didn't mean to. I meant dick as in a bell end. But.
Wow.
Yeah, exactly. Wow. Mention this and you get 20. Mention this argument, you get 25% off. Now she won't want to talk. She will. You see? All the time. Messing with this. She wants to, but she won't. But then she will. What? She will.
What?
I told you! She can't resist it.
A dickhead.
Thank you.
That's my diagnosis.
Thank
I'm
you.
gonna put my coat back on.
We got there.
Yeah.
We got there in the end.
Oh, this is fun.
No, it's not.
It's fun for me.
Shall we tell them? I tried calling you. It said I was calling 911.
Well, you were obviously calling 911 then, you absolute...
You're a knob.
Div.
So, Hot Wheels says, welcome back. Couldn't watch in the morning last week. I was working
Well,
in the NHS.
We got some news for you.
Painting in the NHS. He's a painter. Ramble Shambles, is that Ian Lee? Oh, it was Catherine Boyle. So, we have...
What?
Can I show you the most amazing video? Let me show you. I'm going to show you a little bit of this video of my kids' favourite YouTuber. What my youngest kids, one of my youngest kids, one of their favourite YouTubers. you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
Savage Bees.
Hey, Sinjin.
Right, Dennis Daly, right? Big YouTuber. Millions got, let's see how many followers he's
got an extra subscriber since this weekend.
9.1 million subscribers. Big, right? My kids, my youngest in particular loves him. Plays Roblox, right? And he disappeared. Just before Christmas, he posted saying, I'm really struggling. I can't carry on doing it like this. I've not been happy for a long time. I'm going to take a break. And then 4 days ago, he posted this, had 1.6 million views. And my youngest said, oh, by the way, Dennis has posted a video called Where Have I Been? You might want to watch it. So I watched it. We won't watch all
Meet
of it.
Grammarly, the digital writing assistant
but he's a big
that helps
YouTuber,
students
right?
create
Very
effective
kid-friendly.
writing that delivers.
Hi guys. So I'm sure you might be wondering where I have been the last 3 months. Well, I took a very much needed break. To put it simply, I burned out. YouTube has been so heavily involved with my life over the last 5 years. Every single day I lived and I breathed YouTube, almost to the point where I forgot what it's like to live life without just constantly working on or thinking about anything YouTube. I want to premise this video by saying ever since I first discovered YouTube in like 2008, it's always been my dream and my passion. I didn't even care about like a particular style of content or anything. I was just obsessed that there was this outlet for people to be.
Man talks about not YouTubing with a YouTube video. Shut up! That's not. Why are you even doing that? Don't give me WTF. I'll give you WTF, old man Cord. No, that's not what he's saying, and you know that's not what he's saying, and you're part of the problem.
Don't be a dickhead.
You're part of the problem that is going to be, I'm predicting, is going to be a huge problem. It's already starting to bubble, and you are part of the problem with that attitude. All right? I tell you what, to make things easier, I'm going to time you out, and I'm going to ban you because I don't like you. And you can listen if you want, or you can go away, right? Because you are part of the problem. We're not going to watch all of this. We're just going to watch some of this.
Creative and upload literally whatever they want. And that's what I did for many years before making a single penny off of it. And once I finally did start making a living off of it, I mean, it couldn't have been any better. It was like the most cliche.
I've watched so many of his videos, right? And he looked brilliant here. And I've watched some of his videos and thought he's a funny guy and he's really nice and he's very friendly. I feel
kids love him, don't they?
Safe leaving him with my kids.
Yeah.
The worst he gets is every now and then he'll go, "Bleh," and he'll do a big bit, and it's funny. But I've been able to tell for months he has not enjoyed playing Roblox. He has not enjoyed it, but he still makes these great videos that kids love.
Dream come true moment I could have hoped for. And so all I wanted to do was capitalize. I was obsessed. I was just like, go, go, go every single day. And eventually, after making thousands of videos, it started gradually feeling more like an obligation. And I sort of lost that initial motivation and creative drive that I wanted.
Here comes some adverts. Don't worry about the adverts. It's an advert for BritBox.
Channel 4 and
no one
Channel
signs
5.
up for it. It's
All in one place,
ridiculous.
ad-free.
Who'd want BritBox? Not me. Let's skip through this. This is Intel Evo. I'm fine with this. That's great. Goodbye. Here we go.
Once had. And so kind of the main stopping force that ended up coming was my my own mental health. And that kind of brings us to the main topic of
I just want to, there's a specific bit where he kind of describes like a breakdown.
this video, which is anxiety. I've been dealing with anxiety for I don't know if I've always had anxiety or if I've only like come to terms with it recently. But just to make it very clear what I'm talking about, at least how I experience anxiety, it's the constant overwhelming feeling that something is horribly wrong and it needs to be dealt with immediately.
What a great description. My 9-year-old is watching this. My 9-year-old suggests to me I might want to watch this.
Even if you have no idea what that thing is, almost every time I was super stressed about something, it would consume me. Sometimes even for months at a time. And looking back at a lot of those things, they were non-issues. They were things that I was worried or upset about, that my anxiety built up in my head to be this like horrible, dreadful thing, like making it just so much worse than it actually was. And so that's just kind of how I've been living my life for the last couple of years, especially after the Pals disbanded.
So the Pals was like a group.
Yeah.
It was part of.
I think I just felt really alone in what I was doing.
Alan says, not for 9-year-olds. Yes!
Oh, come on.
Yes, for 9-year-olds. Yes, for 9-year-olds. He knows how to speak to kids. This is perfect for 9-year-olds.
Also, this isn't
is
sensitive.
great.
This isn't sensitive adult talk. This is a human being telling you how he feels, and he's someone who relates to kids.
Yeah.
Kids want to know where he's been.
One of my biggest regrets with YouTube is not having reached out to other members of the community, and I just felt kind of lost. And
talks about sitting in his car. He also says he was anxious because the line my kid picked up. I said, I'm really surprised he got anxiety every day he had to upload a video.
Yeah,
that is so important for him to. At some point, that will lodge and it will go, oh shit, so it isn't fun every single
It led to
day.
a conversation with my 12-year-old who wants to be a YouTuber. And she says, you see, this is why I don't, because she makes videos. And she said, this is why I only do one video a week, because I don't want it to stop being fun.
Yeah, there we go.
And alone in what I was doing, not wanting to screw it all up. I felt like this was my one chance.
Here we go. He talks about how he felt he couldn't take a break.
Yeah.
He had to keep grinding.
That I'll ever be presented, and I need to make the most of it. And I had this super unhealthy mindset that like, even if I miss a couple of days of videos, that my channel would just die. People would just forget about me, and I would be dead with.
Ramble shambles. Do you know what? I guess it's difficult, but imagine being a social worker or someone dealing with victims of domestic abuse. Get real here. Just because one person
You're
is
part of the
suffering
problem.
doesn't mean other people
You're
shouldn't
part of the
express what they're
problem.
feeling.
You're part of the problem.
It's not either or.
Get real here. This kid, and he's a kid to me, you know, he's had a mental breakdown, and you're saying get real here? Come on, man. You're part of the problem.
I hope you're just imagining being a social worker.
You're part of the problem.
Within days. Looking back, that's just 100% my.
People like you really annoy me. It doesn't matter. A millionaire can have a breakdown. It still counts. They've got different issues. They're issues. They're different issues. Of course, having £1 million in the bank makes things slightly, makes the house that you're in, that you're having a breakdown in, more comfortable than maybe someone else. It affects everyone, man. Addiction, mental health, anxiety, depression, suicide. It affects everyone. You're part of the problem if you think that a white middle-class Canadian guy, YouTuber, is what he says about mental health is less important than someone who is a social worker. It's different, and it's important.
Anxiety getting the best of me, but I was so dead set on grinding for as hard as I could for years and years.
That doesn't mean what you think it does, dirty boys.
To the point sometimes where even if I was feeling
self-inflicted, he burnt out though. This is why it's important. No, not I'm blown away by no, not self-inflicted. He's working. This is his job, right? This is his job. How is it self-inflicted? How is it self-inflicted? Explain that to me. How is it self-inflicted? How is it self-inflicted? You're part of the problem. You're part of the problem. And I don't mind saying that. I don't normally like pointing the finger. But until you realise that what you're saying is damaging, you're part of the problem.
Here's another thing. There'll be people that you know who are hearing you talking like this and you're damaging them because they don't dare speak up about how they're feeling because they think you're going to laugh at them or tell them to pull themselves together.
Ramble Shambles, I'm going to ask you to leave. Part of the problem, you think this is similar? Of course they can have a breakdown, but you are far too much bringing your own experience into this, Ian.
Okay.
I'm going to ask you to leave Ramble Shambles. You're not welcome here. You should go away and have a think. It isn't. So, right, hang on. So let me get this right. So what, is it because he's white, middle class, because he's on YouTube? His breakdown is here, but someone who is a victim of domestic violence, their breakdown is here? What about someone who's been sexually abused? Where is that in between that? Oh, and do you know he's not a victim of abuse? Or what do you know about him? So if he were a victim of abuse, does that push him up a bit? You don't know.
At what point is he allowed?
Don't know.
At what point is he allowed to express himself?
Ramble Shambles, goodbye, because you don't know, and I don't like you. I'm really glad we're playing this then, because this is really, really important then. I don't know what you're seeing. Some of you, most of you are getting it. I don't know what you're seeing here. I'm seeing a young man who has pushed himself to the limit and beyond and has had the courage to stop and then come back and talk about it publicly. At what point, supposing he carried on and had taken his own life? Self-inflicted?
Why didn't he say anything?
What? Remember Caroline Flack? You know, all these people that the lad from Love Island that took his own life. So, I mean, what?
Also,
it doesn't count because they're not a social worker.
Also, your kids are wanting to follow him into this profession. Your kids are wanting to do this. He's living the dreams for a lot of kids. They need to know that it's not all that, don't they?
So awful on a day. So, I'm not exaggerating. Sometimes I would be on the brink of tears and I still just force myself to record because I couldn't bring myself to miss a day of uploads. It was just in my head, the worst possible thing that could happen. Only until I took this break, I genuinely felt like I never had a right to complain about anything.
Because of the attitude of some of the people in the chat. You're starting to get it now.
My theory about people who talk like that is that by saying it's not real, it means they don't have to deal with it.
Yeah.
I am by far the luckiest person that I know and that I may ever know. And I have the unbelievable privilege of being able to say that I've gotten to do both of my literal childhood dream jobs, that being a YouTuber and making a cartoon show. So I started having these moments of where do I go from here? I have everything I possibly ever could have hoped for.
Oh, we're late. We've got to go to a guest. I'm so
I can
sorry.
send him a message and say we'll be right there, or
let's go to it. We'll come back to this in a minute. We've got a great guest.
Completely different.
Completely different. I just saw the time. This is really, really important. We will come back to this. There's a couple of bits I want to play specifically. And also I want to talk about the conversation that it prompted with my 9-year-old. That's why this is important.
Yeah.
And also I want to talk about Twitch and YouTube burnout as well. And I know we have some, we've got MZ and we've got St. John. It'll be interesting to get their take on it. There is a lot of pressure. It's not the same as being a social worker. No, it's not the same. It's different.
Doesn't make them any less valid.
You give us a list of which jobs people are allowed to struggle with, just so we know.
Here's a thought for you. Maybe it's not about the job. Maybe it's about something else. Maybe it's about something bigger.
And also, yeah, I'm bringing myself into it. That's all I got. That's all I got. So yeah, of course I will. Right.
Of which more later.
And Billy Child Bosch says, just tuned in. This is a different vibe to the morning shows. Of which more later. Right, yeah. St. John, I can see you calling in, but we've got to go to our guest. Catherine, tell us the name of this guest, please, and what we got coming up here, please, because this is proper exciting.
The guest is
stuff.
Very excited. His name is Jim Sherman. By day, a mild-mannered high school teacher.
What the
from the
hell?
US of A.
United States of America to you and me, baby.
In his spare time, he's a Bigfoot tracker.
Oh man, and this guy's genuine, not
Yeah.
the singer. He's genuine about this.
He sent us an email with some recordings. We're going to talk to him about. It's exciting stuff,
This is great. This is great. Let me just get his email up. The chat. Here we go. Here comes Jim. Has he got a Bigfoot that he's going to be able to show us? I don't know if that's where he is. Come on, here comes the man. Here we go. Oh, I need to change my settings because I had it set for a meeting, so that's going to be there. Jim, join us. Come, unmute yourself, brother. Show us your face. Show us. I'm assuming he's caught.
There he is.
I'm doing my best.
Now, I would have thought. I don't see a Bigfoot head hanging behind you. You've not managed to. Have you caught one and killed one yet?
Hold on a minute. I have things.
He has things. Don't mess.
Jim, I've
got some footprints.
Wow. Hang on.
Jim, can I stop you for a second?
Yeah, sure.
This guy looks normal.
He looks normal.
He doesn't look like a fruitcake. What are you talking about?
Hold on.
He can look like a fruitcake.
Maybe you need it.
There's the
a little
tracker.
bit more, 'cause that seems a little bit more normal. You got to have a swagtastic hat or some kind of. Hold on.
I liked it. I like Jim.
I'm sorry about this.
No, I love it. You go for
I
it.
changed it the last minute, but I had like something that makes me kind of look more like the crocodile hunter, so I didn't wear that. But
it worked out badly for him, so be careful.
But I did wear this.
Oh,
there we
nice.
go. Well done. Well done.
Although I take issue with the first word there. You're clearly not introverted at all. So you're a history teacher by day, but for 30 years you've been hunting Bigfoot. How does that work?
Well, that's a darn interesting question. One of the things that when I was little, I was absolutely intrigued by anything that was creepy, scary, weird. I loved UFOs, Bigfoot, Loch Ness Monster, things that scared me.
Yeah.
I really liked those things. The things I was supposed to like, math and like religion and stuff like that. I'm like, for the birds. But for whatever reason, I found just this draw towards things that were weird. And really what ended up happening was I kind of grew out of it, and I kind of grew up.
Yeah.
And then I realized, well, I've got to somehow start making money. And so I realized that, history is kind of close to studying weird things. So I'll just study history and kind of let the other stuff go. Still absolutely fascinated by just cool, weird things. But there's a lot of cool, weird things to study in history also. But what I'll tell you is I had an incident occur when I was about 19 years old that just scared me to the point that I couldn't go in the woods anymore.
Oh.
And so I don't know if you want to hear about that, but
of course we want to hear about that.
What happened? Did a Bigfoot expose himself to you or something?
Well, I probably would have been more comfortable had it done so,
right?
Simply because it was the unknown.
Yeah.
That was the scariest part about it. But basically what happened was my dad and I went into a place in northern Michigan, and Michigan is made up of two peninsulas, and I live like a troll down below the bridge in the lower peninsula. But up in the upper peninsula, it's just this beautiful area it's just like a sports person's paradise. You can go in hiking forever and not see a whole bunch of people. It's just absolutely gorgeous. And so my dad and I did a canoe in, hike in, camp type of a trip. You pack in all of your gear and you just go out.
It sounds horrendous. Can I stay at home? I'll stay in the car.
Banjos, it's fine. And so here's the deal. We went up, and it was a lot of fun. And anytime you can hang out with your dad it's a big deal. And I treasure those memories. But let me tell you, we were so far away from anyone, but once the coolness of hiking and fishing and the loons die down and it starts to get dark, it gets dark, it gets scary. And I'm used to that. I grew up in the woods. Like I go out, I hunt, I fish, I hike, I played in the woods. If I wasn't on my bike, I was playing in the woods. But that night, I crawled into my tent. My dad falls asleep immediately. And then basically about a half hour after the fire died down, I was lying on my back, and it was weird because you could not really see outside of the tent, but you could tell that there was still some ambient light out there. And I heard something coming from the direction behind me, and there's no trails back there. There's no reason for a person to be back there. And initially I heard some, twigs cracking and stuff like that, leaf rustling. And immediately, of course, you think, oh, okay, there's a chipmunk back there. All right. Well, the chipmunk started to get bigger. And at night, chipmunks will sound like a monster. Well, I'm just like, wow, this is a little bit, disconcerting. And that chipmunk in my mind became like a raccoon, which is a bigger creature. And then I'm like, ooh, this. And then the telltale thing happened. When you hear a real live branch snap, not a twig, because a deer will crack twigs and smallish branches, but it has to be heavy, like a person or a bear, to crack big branches on the ground. And something was cracking big branches on the ground behind me. I'm in a tent defenseless, and I could also hear it brushing against the trees. And the trees, now this is kind of strange, but I know where the trees were, and they were up like above my head-ish.
Yeah.
And so whatever it was tall. And so I'm thinking it's got to be a deer. Maybe it's the antlers of a buck brushing against the branches. But whatever this thing was came up behind me, and I was absolutely petrified. And I've been scared before, like, how you get startled or something like that. You walk into a room, someone's standing there, and you're like, ghost, or something like that. But this was just an abject fear. And all I wanted to do was yell, run, or move. And I couldn't do any of them. I have no clue what came over me, but I could not move. I could hear my dad breathing.
Yeah.
I could hear him snoring, but he couldn't hear what I could hear. And eventually, whatever the heck this thing was, I'm still not 100% sure, but I'm still freaked out about it. It sounded as if it bent over, because there were branches above the tent, like it bent over, and then something pressed against the back of the tent.
Oh,
now,
no.
I'm on my back, and I can hear something that's been walking up towards me, and something about the size of a dinner plate, maybe, pressed up against the back of the tent. I'm thinking in my head, crap, it's a bear. And there's black bear around there, and they're annoying, but usually they won't mess with you if you don't have food in the tent, and they don't have their babies around. They'll huff and then run away. Whatever this was really interested in me, and whatever was pushing up behind me, I could see it. And I'm like, is that a forehead of a bear? But, there's fabric between, so I can't really see what it is.
Yeah.
And so I was able to, which seemed like a superhuman effort at now thinking about it, but I reached up with my left hand, and I'm right-handed, but I'm like sitting there, I can't do anything with my right hand. I reached up and I swatted, and I tried to give like the most manly yawp you've ever heard. And that woke my dad up, and he told me that it sounded like I'd been kicked with a ball, like in the testicles or something like that. He just said it wasn't very manly. It was like a wheel. But when I hit what I hit, it wasn't like the forehead of a bear, because it wasn't solid. It was as if a bit, not my sized hand, but a very big, and my hands are not huge, but like double the size of my hand, because I went like this and it kind of gave, and then there was a kind of a noise that did not sound like a bear. I know what a bear sounds like. Right?
You know what it sounds like when you slap a bear. And
I don't know what it sounds like when you slap one, but I've heard them before. But this was strange. Yeah. And then bipedally it walked away. Whatever it was, harumphed, stood up, hit the branches above me, which were at least about 6 feet up-ish, and then it bipedally walked away. So in my head, I'm like, that was a person? Because what else could it be?
Yeah.
Because I can hear it walking. And then over the course of the next 3 nights, right, during the day, nothing. But over the course of that first night, things were getting thrown across the campsite. Now, I never looked out. I was too scared. Not even going to lie. I was absolutely petrified. But whatever it was walking, sounded like a person, and then would throw things off to the other side. Now, I honestly only heard one. And so it seemed like one bipedal big something was messing with me. Next day, I'm like, okay, I'm going to find out what this is. And so I cleared up the brush and everything. I mean, I exposed sand behind the back of the tent. And I'm not even lying. I put like little punji stakes up. I took a knife and I whittled stakes and put them in the ground because I wanted to know what was there. I wanted to get footprints. I wanted to scare it away because I was petrified. The next night, it didn't come near the tent. It stayed away. But what it did do was it somehow grabbed saplings. And I found the saplings. They're about this big around. And swished them back and forth until one of them snapped.
Gosh.
Now, here's the deal. I never saw what it was. And it happened, like I said, 3 nights. And finally I said to my dad, I'm like, I can't sleep. This is freaking me out. Can we please go? I was sleeping with a hatchet. But it was so scary because I didn't know what it was. Had it been a bear, had I known it, I was too scared to look. I was too scared to shine a flashlight. I just couldn't do it. I couldn't bring myself to do it. And if I could figure out what the heck it was, it would have been so much better. But bear do not throw things. They just don't. There's no reason for a person to be out there, and I saw no footprints whatsoever. And I would have probably seen a person's boot print. So I don't know what it is. And what that did for me is it scared me to the point where I was deathly afraid of camping. I used to camp alone. I would throw a tarp up and go out and do stuff like that. No way was I ever going to do that. I couldn't go for hikes. I used to hunt and I would find myself going up in a tree stand like normal. Okay, I'm hunting. And then it would start getting dark. And I'm like, now I'm going down the tree because I was so scared. And it ruined some of the things that I categorically absolutely loved doing. I loved being in the woods. And so what I started to do was I started to research what the heck could possibly do this. And this was many years later, like fast forward, and I'm like, I got to figure out what the heck this is. And I came across other people's incidents, particularly while camping, where they've had primate-like aggressive behavior, objects thrown, branches broken and swished back and forth, things that aren't normal bear behavior or things like that. And it started to point towards the thing I used to be interested in, cryptid stuff. And people started to say, oh yeah, you had a Bigfoot encounter. And I'm like, that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Bigfoot doesn't exist. I don't know what did. I don't know what it was. But then I just started researching and I came across, particularly looking at the Bigfoot Field Researchers Organization, or the BFRO has an amazing website, bfro.net. And you can go on that website and look at around the world. But I can look at Michigan, I can look at my county, and I can see different researched examples of experiences from witnessing.
Let me play the devil's advocate. And I was like you when I was like a teenager. I was into all ghosts. I've seen a UFO. I've seen something flying in the sky. I saw it with my then wife, and neither of us could explain it, and it was very, very peculiar. So I was into that, and then I kind of grew up, and as I'm getting older, I'm kind of thinking, well, there probably is a little bit more to stuff. But if Bigfoot exists, why have we not filmed it? Why have we not had a satellite that's filmed it? Why? I know this happened to you a long time ago, but why has no one managed to get their phone out and film it? Why is it all this shaky cam bollocks? Why is there not YouTube channel? This is actual footage of Bigfoot.
Oh my goodness, we're speaking the same language. And the reason is, now some people will say, and I have to be perfectly clear with you. I research Bigfoot, but I'm kind of an intrigued skeptic.
Okay.
right? That's just the way because I haven't had a good sighting. Now, people will say with all the stuff that I've collected, all the audio analysis that I do and the experiences that I've had, because I've seen some pretty weird stuff, they're like, how can you not believe? And it's just because I kind of have to see things. And when things are like so out there, I need extra evidence. Like I can believe in a great white shark. I've never seen one.
Yeah.
I've seen sharks, but I've never seen a great white shark, but there's really good evidence that they're out there. And so what a true believer would say to you, and they call themselves knowers. And I have a whole bunch of friends who are really cool and they're knowers because they know, they don't just believe. And what they say is take a look at the Patterson-Gimlin film, which is the one that usually when you think of a Bigfoot,
is that the one where he kind of turns around and like smiles at the camera?
Exactly.
Does that?
And that one has gone through, the film itself has gone through a great deal of scrutiny. Right. I know there's a really good book by Bill Munns on that. And as a matter of fact, this is one of the reasons that I really want to believe that there's a Bigfoot out there because it would be really cool. But a lot of my really good friends absolutely believe, and they're super trustworthy, cool people. And I met and talked with Bob Gimlin, who was the guy who had the gun trained on Patty, which is the name for the female Bigfoot. And Roger Patterson was doing the filming. Bob Gimlin had his gun on the Bigfoot. And I spoke with Bob Gimlin, and he is probably the most genuine person you've ever met.
Yeah.
And he could sell me a car, and I'm like, yeah, I'll buy it, because he's so honest and genuine. He's just like a really cool cowboy. And I sat in his hotel room just talking with him. And, it was, I asked him questions like, why didn't you shoot it? Because then you get the thing you need, which I'm not an advocate for, but a body, like real good. Here's a Bigfoot.
Oh, I bet it tastes incredible.
I would imagine probably the back straps are the best. The rest of it might be a little gamey.
Bit of gravy on there. Oh, baked potato. I'm in. I want Sasquatch for my tea.
I can't believe this would be the discovery of a century and you're thinking about how you'd cook it.
They're licking our fingers because we've now listen, you sent us some audio. What should we play? What have we got here?
Well, basically what ended up happening is I got hooked and I started to go on Bigfoot expeditions. Because I was so scared, I figured the best way to face my fears was to face my fears.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And so I looked up and I'm like, there's Bigfoot expeditions? What idiot's going to go on a Bigfoot expedition? I'm like, me?
Yes,
of course I'm going to go on a Bigfoot expedition. And I mean, I've been to Loch Ness. I go ghost hunting. I'm going to do anything like that because it's awesome. And I'm like, I'm going to go in the woods and I'm going to play bait. I mean, I'm not the tallest guy in the world. They're going to come and try to consume me. Awesome. I'll wear a GPS tracker and then they can get me out the backside or something like that. Sorry, that's disgusting. But the thing is that in forcing myself to go out and research, now I go in the woods without a headlamp like an idiot, looking for the things that used to scare me so I couldn't go in the woods. Mm-hmm. And what that did for me is it basically fired up my desire to research. And I ended up joining a Bigfoot organization, the BFRO. And what happens is I get reports through the website, and then I go out and I research them. I talk to the witnesses, and if they're crazy, I'm like, thank you, I'll be there never. But
have you had that when you've been in someone's house and they come in, they make you a cup of tea and they start telling the story and you realise they're batshit? And and my wife is, I gotta go.
I'm just like, my Jeep's on fire. I'll be right back. But yeah, seriously, that's why you call them and talk to them first.
Right.
Because using a burner phone or something like that, because otherwise, my goodness. But I will tell you, the bulk of the people that I've had the opportunity to meet with, and I vet them before I'm ever going to meet anybody, because that's just weird, are just really cool people. And you can tell that they're not out there for money, and they don't get into Bigfoot stuff for the money.
Yes.
All right. There's just, unless you I guess unless there's some ways that you can do it. If you have a TV show, you write a lot of books, or you are a well-known researcher or something. And there are some really, obviously, very, very cool people that are involved in cryptozoology. But for someone like me, I'm not going to make any money doing it. And that's why I have to teach and coach, But I think really the most important thing about all of that was I just immersed myself in just studying and meeting with people and listening to them. And then I really became fascinated, like you mentioned, with audio analysis. And so whenever I go, look, I'm a teacher, I have props. I'll bring things like this. This is just a really simple, cheap recorder.
Yeah.
I mean, normally it appears like this.
Yeah.
It don't cost that much money. Throw an SD card in it and you throw it in the woods. And these will last for, a couple of hours until the memory card dies and things like that. And I keep one on me. I throw them all over the place. And you end up collecting really cool audio evidence, mostly of frogs and crickets and things that are extraordinarily normal. But every once in a while, you capture something that's fascinating, apart from coyotes or whatever, because I've captured big cats like cougars, which are scary. I've captured bobcats, which are just cool, wolves in areas where they're not supposed to be, and even some hybrid like coy dogs, which are hybridized coyotes and dogs, and just some weird stuff. And every once in a while also, I collect, like there's one I know that you have that is, I think it's a wood knock and howl or something like that. And I'm trying to remember if that's one.
Knock and howl. Here we go. You may not be able to hear this because of the way my computer's set up, but I'm going to play it now, so everyone at home should be able to hear this. Here we go.
I'm never going camping again.
What is that, man?
I don't remember the audio clip.
It goes, I'll do it. It goes, woo! Woo! We'll recreate them for you as we play.
Very good.
Well, I like you, Jim.
I'll tell you, some of these things, like in one instance, I stepped out of my car, more props. I stepped out of my car with this, which one of my really good friends gave me. This is just a jam block. And normally you're playing the drums, whatever. Or if you take it in the woods and go like this, it makes a super loud noise. Mm-hmm. And one of the neat things is sometimes you do that in the woods and something will bang back. And sometimes you do that in the woods and something will howl back.
No, mate. No.
Now, but here's the thing. 90% of the time, it's probably someone else out there Bigfooting. I'm sure that's like, I just heard a wood knock. I'm going to howl to it or something like that.
Bigfooting does sound like a euphemism for. I don't know. Are you aware of the phrase dogging? Does dogging exist over there?
No, it does not. But I'm going to look it up on the Urban Dictionary right now.
Be careful which computer you Google that on.
It does sound like a euphemism.
Hey, sweetheart, can I borrow your computer? Do you mind?
Hey guys, I've just signed up to. I'm going to the UK. I've signed up to a dogging group. It should be. Don't.
It'd be awesome.
Don't.
You're gonna love it.
What we're getting, people in the chat are saying, so the last comment I've just seen from David, one day Jim's mutilated body will be found in the woods. I don't know if that's a threat or...
Jim's fine with that as long as he's got his tracker on.
That's why I keep little GPS trackers, because they'll be able to collect my DNA evidence with the tracker and I will scratch on the way through.
So what do we think they eat? Vegetarian or carnivore?
You know what? Here's the interesting thing. I think about all of this from a scientific standpoint. And what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to collect evidence. And that's why I go out there with silly video cameras and recorders so that I can figure out what the heck is going on. And I also, no matter where I am, I study the normal sounds of the area. And because here's the deal. If you're out in the woods for the first time and you hear a loon, which is a bird, they're scary. Or if you hear the most evil animal in the world, which is the barred owl. Barred owls make these crazy sounds that actually sound like you're walking through like a zoo and there's chimpanzees all around you. I would make the noise, but I'd have to practice a bit. But seriously, it's absolutely freaky and scary. But what I'm trying to do is bring science to it.
Yeah.
And collect evidence. And so what we have to do is, and this is the way my silly brain works, I'm like, well, if there is a large animal out there, and if that is a large animal, and the closest thing we have to in reality to that animal is a primate or a human or possibly a bear, is this an area that a human, which is a primate, obviously, a primate could live, and is this somewhere that a bear can survive? What are humans and bears eating? Now, humans kind of suck because we bring food from all over, but could a primate live there? And that's an interesting question, because there are parts of Michigan, for instance, where sure, like I could go in the woods and I could survive. It would suck, but I could survive eating aquatic plants, frogs, stuff like that. But we don't know. However, some people have claimed that they have witnessed a Bigfoot or Sasquatch hunting. I've never seen one. I will tell you, and I could share this, I'd have to share it later, or anybody who wants to contact me, I'll share it with you. I collected an audio when I wasn't there. This was a recorder I had set up, a long duration recorder just in the woods with a battery source. And you can hear a fawn walk up near the recorder, and then you hear something rush up and hit it.
Oh my God.
You hear a, and then it's so crazy because there's a little bit of a scuffle, then it's done. And then the weird part is there's a it's the coolest thing in the world. It's the coolest thing in the world. And no one believes me, which I understand. But obviously it had to be something else. But in my mind, I'm thinking Bigfoot, whereas an alien hunter would be thinking, wow, that alien just probed that fawn.
Yeah.
Like that. You get the idea. But so you have to just think, what is it that is being consumed? Can you find scat? I mean, we can't find bones.
No.
Right. So this is problematic, and this is what messes with my head, because we should have gotten them on satellites. We should have gotten them on, we should stumble upon them and like, oh, now people are going to say, how often have you seen a bear carcass? And how often have you seen gorilla carcass? What's the plural of carcass? Gorilla bodies. All right. But the thing is,
you ain't no teacher.
I know.
No teacher. You're some freak we found online.
Teach the English. I teach a social study.
Oh, okay.
I teach history. It barely counts.
But we're thinking of the woods. You're talking about the woods, and we're thinking about the small things that we have, right?
Yeah.
But actually, this terrain is huge. Isn't
People
it?
forget that America is massive, and that it is possible that there could be something existing within thousands of miles of woodland.
Yeah.
It's possible. And the thing is, the fact that it's possible makes it interesting.
Yeah.
And so I keep looking, and the more that I look, and the more you go down the rabbit hole, the more the rabbit hole looks up at you, kind of like that. But it's fascinating because I've used it to learn so much more just about audio analysis and how to use a computer to analyze audio to figure out, basically because sound you can make sound look like a fingerprint.
Yeah.
And so you can put it on an audio spectrogram and say, well, this is within the range of a wolf. This is within the range of a human. We've got something here, so it's something different. And that's kind of cool. It's fun to do that kind of thing. And I'm just open to it. But I'm also hyper skeptical about everything, not to the point of being rude to people. It's like if they say, look, I found I have the perfect Bigfoot audio or something like that. And I'm like, that is a Chihuahua or something like that. No, I'll talk to them about it, learn it, teach it, kind of treat it like a learning experience.
Yeah.
And the same thing, if you go online and you look at Bigfoot stuff, about 99% of everything you see that's a picture is a shadow.
Yeah.
Pareidoia. It's just our mind trying to make things out of something that doesn't exist. But every once in a while, you do get some cool things. Like the Patterson-Gimlin film is actually really cool, and it would have been hard to produce with the technology of the day. It would have been pretty tough to do.
As a historian, the accounts, how far do they go back? And have they always been along the same lines, or are there variants?
What's fascinating about the hairy man type of idea and legends is that it goes across basically all cultures have this story about a hairy man. If you go even back biblically, people that have been pushed out of society there are discussions about that in the I'm drawing such a blank right now, and I'm going to come back to one other really cool allusion, but in Native American.
Yeah, we caught you out. We caught him out. We knew he'd stumble at some point. We got you.
You know what? And it's funny because when you spend a day in school with students and they suck your brain, then you go to track practice and you're running with the kids, and then this isn't an excuse. This is why my brain doesn't work. And then I'm like, get home, and I ran. You
left early for us, so we really appreciate it. Thank you.
It's all good. It's all good. The coolest things that I like to study are the Native American stories. Like if you take a look at like in the Southwest, and you look at the hairy man, and you look at some of the petroglyphs, and those things are 800 years old or so, and you go back to the Yeren or the Yeti in China and Nepal and Tibet. And if you look in like Siberia with the Alma, these types of creatures have been around. And part of it is simply because it's part of our human nature to be afraid of what is in the wilderness and to be afraid of what is wild, because that's something that we see in ourselves. And so there might be this cannibalistic creature out there, which is kind of like us. And that's just kind of scary. And so what we do is we use it to help train our youth, right? Hey, if you leave the village, the Sasquatch is going to get you or something like that. And so it is a psychological part of apparently human makeup across the entire world. And so it's something that it goes beyond history because it goes all the way back to oral history. Now, people will often say, oh, the first instance of a Bigfoot was the Vikings. And here's the deal. That is an account that's a little bit shaky, just so you know. But it's around the world. It's just a cool cultural phenomenon that some people absolutely categorically agree that they exist. Some people, like a lot of Native Americans, believe that they are kind of halfway between the physical and spiritual world, which is also extraordinarily fascinating. Also makes it really easy to say, that's why I can't get one on film.
Yeah.
That's why they're always blurry.
They're interdimensional, of course.
They're interdimensional, so it makes it simpler.
What I'm getting from you, Jim, is, and a lot of people are picking up on this, is your enthusiasm. You're having the time of your life having this as, I don't know if, I hope calling it a hobby isn't too demeaning to it, but you're obviously having so much fun investigating this and tracking this and learning about it and history and, technical stuff, all of this stuff. You're having a great time.
Yeah, and I also just remembered the Epic of Gilgamesh that I was trying to tell you about. Jeez! And it just came to me, and I'm like, wow, I really didn't sound very brilliant. And all of my 9th graders are going to pick on me tomorrow. Hopefully they're not watching this. But my goodness, they're like, that idiot Sherman. Whatever.
So tell us about Gilgamesh now you've remembered.
Oh, well, the thing is, the Epic of Gilgamesh is actually the first real novel. It's the first book that is written in cuneiform, and it actually is where the idea of the archetypal hero comes. and this is Gilgamesh. And Gilgamesh saved his people by building a gigantic boat. And he saved his society because there was a massive flood. Now, when I say that, kids go, hey, wait a minute, that was Noah. And I'm like, no, Gilgamesh was first. Noah was a plagiarism of Gilgamesh, which is completely fine. It's completely fine to do that. Societies do that all the time. There's nothing wrong with changing the names of historic characters and things like that. Who knows? They could have been the same person. We have no clue. But one was a novel. But in it, Gilgamesh fights a massive hairy man, and that's the first written account of a massive hairy man. So it's just kind of cool.
A lot of people as well are saying they would love to have had you as a teacher. Honestly, the enthusiasm, the passion. It's we need more people like you in schools. How old are the young people that you're teaching?
Right now I have primarily sophomores, so they're in 10th grade. So they're going to be, right now they're 15.
Yeah.
And then I go all the way up to my seniors who are turning 18. Normally I'll teach anywhere from 9th to 12th grade.
Yeah.
But the crazy thing is, this is really only our second week back. Michigan, our schools have been closed. And so I've been teaching from my Zoom chair. That's hence the comfy chair here, for a lot of it. Yeah. And facing that direction, actually, I have a green screen. And so I used to put my lesson plans behind me or weird random things, just because you got to keep the students interested.
Yeah.
But I'm going to tell you, like even today, there were kids like this in my classroom. They're like, what I'm doing here is more important than Sherman. I could be dancing a jig, playing the bagpipes. No one wants to see or hear me do either of those. All right, particularly be guilted. No, but the thing is that sometimes it just doesn't matter what you're doing. There's going to be people that are just like, history's not my thing.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And I'm like, oh, apparently neither's thinking or breathing. But no, that's one of the reasons that I think I can keep doing this for a while, because you can get burnt out and you can get frustrated and you can get jaded. And part of the reason is because I go out in the woods and if I spend time and I don't find anything, I don't care because I'm still out in the woods.
Exactly. And that's the twist. That's it. You're still experiencing and you're living.
Yeah.
It's just fun. And but if I had to make a living doing that, then I'd be like, well, I have to get something. And that's and who wants that? But yeah, as long as you keep it fun, and like you go online and people just bash each other with Bigfoot stuff, and it's like you show a picture and you put red lines on things and you see, how can you not see the Bigfoot? What's wrong with you? And I'm like, it's because it's a leaf, but I don't get involved in that. Just
no, beautiful. You sound like you've got the right balance.
I have been throughout. You may have noticed me looking away throughout. That's because I keep posting your links in the chat. I've done that a few times. And if anyone wants to go and look, Twitter, it's Sherman Bigfoot. YouTube, it's Lord Cryptid, CRYPTID. And you've got a book on Amazon, Facing the Big Hairy Monkey Thing. That title makes me think maybe you don't take this as seriously. It's not quite the serious scientific guest I was hoping for, Catherine. Must try harder. Jim, you...
The greatest part about it, my daughter came up with that name, so...
It's great, man. Listen, it's been such a pleasure talking to you. Your passion is infectious. I'm kind of open-minded about the Bigfoot. Why would you not be? It's more fun to be open-minded about this stuff, I think, isn't it?
Why not?
Fun.
Yeah.
You're welcome on any time, Jin. When you catch one,
show us that foot.
Oh yeah, show us the
footprint again.
The footprint. Let's have a quick look at the footprint. Yes,
I have a couple. This is one from.
Flipping it! Come on.
Shut up! You've made that up.
No, and this is not mine. I did not make this footprint. This is from the Patterson-Gimlin film. But this is kind of cool. This is from, I talked about Patty before. Yeah. But this is within the range of a human foot. Not mine, a big human.
Yeah.
But things like this one, this is from an orang pendek. which is from Indonesia, I
Now,
believe.
I'm struggling to see a foot there.
Okay, let me show you. Toe, 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 toe. There's 5 toes.
Okay,
This
okay.
would be the back, but it was in a really muddy substrate. And so basically what you get is what was pressed in, and you pour the plaster and it fills what was pressed in. This one I got from a guy called Cliff Barrickman, who is a very legitimate Bigfoot guy and a really cool person.
I love it. I love it. Jim, you're welcome on any time. You want to come and plug anything, you catch one, you find one, you realise it's all bunkum, whatever. So you've got our details. Please stay in touch.
Or next time you're going out, I'm assuming there's a signal in the forest in Michigan, right?
Yeah, oh yeah,
They've
give
got
us a
everything
call
in
when you're
America.
out.
That would be great.
Oh, that would be hilarious.
Do it. We'd love it.
Jim, and if if the world ever goes back to some kind of normality and you want to go on the hunt for ghosts or Nessie over here, give us a call and we will happily meet up with you and we'll go and have a look.
Oh, it'd be such a
I'm so down with that.
Lovely. Hey, nice one, man. Really nice to meet you, Jim. Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
We'll
Take
speak
care.
again. Stay
Thanks,
safe.
Jim.
Bye-bye. There we go.
Thank
What a nice guy.
I love him so much, and he was so up for it.
What a nice guy.
Here's the thing, right?
Nice people.
As a local reporter, I was called every summer. There would be someone who said that they'd seen a big cat, right?
Yeah.
And sometimes it was quite obviously drinking juice.
Hello there. Welcome to McDonald's. How may I take your order?
Yeah, could you shove a Big Mac up your ass, please, little boy? Thank you.
Sideways. But there were a couple that felt possible to me. You know, I've got quite a good bullshine detector and it was not going off. I can't say for sure. I think there are definitely big cats in the countryside in this country, for sure. Because
Well, there's
people,
one in my back garden.
there's
one in my house.
and there's a bigger one out there. But there was a change in the law around the 1970s whereby people weren't allowed to keep exotic pets anymore, right? And some of them didn't dispose of them.
Thank you, Wickham man.
You know, taking them to zoos. Some of them just let them go. There was someone I spoke to who reckoned that there was a colony of these big cats out in Buckinghamshire somewhere.
Yeah.
I can't disprove that. I can't rule it out. I reckon it happens.
Great guest, Catherine. Thank you. This Friday. So let's talk about what's happening with the show. Actually, I think we might be on ads. So we'll do it in 2 minutes. We'll do it in 2 minutes. Let's call our friend St. John back because we missed. Bam, boom, bam. Boom, bam, boom. Bam, boom, bam. Boom, bam, boom. Bam, boom, bam.
Hazy says, sideways, I'm not sure that would be worse based on the dimensions of a Big Mac. I was trying to be helpful.
Piece of trash. St. John is a piece of trash.
I wonder if they have big feet in Maryland.
If you are expecting a postcard, if you're a tier 2 or tier 3, I know I've missed. I had a spreadsheet and I had to reset my computer and I lost the spreadsheet.
Mm-hmm.
So I know there are some of you that I've missed. Not if you haven't received it yet, because they've not all been sent out. But if you are expecting one and you've not given us your address, email us latenightalternative@gmail.com. You need to be a tier 1 or a tier 2. Hello?
Hello, Sheikh Mohammed Abdul. As your midget porn subscription has run out, please press 1 to renew for 10 years. Thanks for choosing Midget Hub.
What was that?
Dunno, couldn't hear it, but a good one.
I heard porn subscription as though subscribing to porn is shame. I mean, it is shameful because
Why
you
would
can
you
get
subscribe?
it for free.
Guys, come on. I've missed this.
And you're going to miss it a bit more.
Yeah.
Because let me see if we're back from the ads yet. 20 seconds.
We'll hang on.
We'll hang on.
Because everyone needs to hear
If you're
this.
new here, drop us a follow. Numbers are low tonight. Love it. We have Heyman's Jelly Beans. Dom Jolly told his chat you've been banned from Twitch. Dom's doing pranks. Well, but historically, we had been banned.
We've been banned twice, yeah.
Yeah. Historically, we have been banned. I mean, maybe he's doing pranks. I don't know. Maybe he's doing the big phone thing. I don't know. So we got a few weeks of uncertainty around when we are because we're not back now until Friday. This is our last show until Friday because I'm doing some college stuff, so I'm focusing on that. St. John, you're gonna have to wait. And on April the 12th, hopefully, fingers crossed, I'm going away on holiday with my boys. Someone's moving in my house for the week to look after cats, so don't try and rob
And then
it.
massive.
So that week's off. But we, as you know, we have been experimenting with different times of the show. And it also goes back to that video we were watching earlier of Dennis Daly talking about grinding, about burnout, about anxiety, about feeling guilty if they didn't put out material.
About worrying that it might have a negative impact.
Worrying it might have a
on their
negative
job.
impact and actually not enjoying the job. So we have come up with a plan that we are going to implement soon. Catherine Boyle, please.
Donuts.
Thank you, Cozy Bug, for the sub.
We're doing mornings, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesdays, and then we'll be here Friday nights.
So
but
that's
of course,
the plan.
that doesn't mean you can't watch it.
Yeah.
You'll be able to catch up the same way as ever.
Yeah.
So if you are someone who likes to listen or watch in the evenings, you can still do that.
So the plan is we're going to finish soon. Then we're back on Friday in the evening, starting 8 o'clock. Then next week, we're quite possibly going to... We're certainly taking Monday and Tuesday off. We might take Wednesday off as well, because they're the last few days of March and we've done our hours. It gets complicated. It will get...
And then it'll get simple again.
Yeah. So next week, we're off Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. We're on Thursday, Friday evening. The week after, I think is the 12th. I'm not totally sure. Can't remember. We're away. Okay, we're not on. Then when we come back, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday morning, 3.5 hour shows starting at 10 a.m. till 1:30. Off on Thursdays, college. Friday evenings at 8. So 4 shows a week starting from April. There's one more week actually where we're going to be doing 5 evenings, excuse me. But starting from April the 19th, Mondays at 10 a.m., Tuesdays at 10 a.m., Wednesdays at 10 a.m., 3.5 hours, no shows on Thursday, and Friday evenings, 8 till midnight. Roger's asking for a diagram. We'll do
keep reminding you until it becomes, more regular. And it might not be forever. Gosh,
No.
The world is changing all the time. They might send you back to work during the day, so we'll see what happens with the world in general. But
We are going to do it starting April 19th. We're going to do it all through April and all through May. And then at the end of May, I think we need to give it 4, 5, 6 weeks to see what happens with the numbers. Because I suspect, like tonight, we haven't done an evening show for over a week. The numbers are dropped. That's kind of how Twitch works. But that's okay. This is easier to understand than the postcard mix-up. I hope so. So
it makes it all the more important to follow us. If you're interested, follow us, and then you'll get and make sure that your notifications are enabled, and we'll keep in touch that way.
So so follow us. And I know a load of you are having problems with your notifications not firing off. My suggestion is check your notifications. Check that notifications for TLNA is on, not Ian Lee, TLNA. Maybe switch it off and then switch it back on again. Hopefully that will refresh the system, because I know sometimes it doesn't always work. So
Wagwan1 says, I'm always at work during the day. Yeah, but you can watch it whenever you want.
And there's still the daily podcast. There's still the daily podcast. And the podcast, I suspect, will probably still go out 5 days a week.
Yeah.
I'm sure there'll be an extra thing. Someone says, can someone come up with a mnemonic? That would be great if someone could. I'll hand that over to you. So the next couple of weeks is a bit confusing. We're off the rest of this week till Friday. Next week, we're off Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. We're doing Thursday and Friday evenings. I think the week after, we're doing 5 evenings. Then I got a week off. April the 19th, the new show, the new slots start. Monday, April the 19th, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 10 a.m. till 1:30 in the afternoon. And Thursdays off, Friday evenings. That does... We have a slightly odd deal with Twitch in that they pay us. It's not a stipend. It's more than a stipend. I love the word stipend. A retainer. So we get a certain amount of money from them. no one's getting rich off it, but we get a certain amount of money for doing 60 hours. And it really dawned on us, partly because of that Dennis video, but actually we'd kind of been working it out before. These revelations, and after the 12-hour show, if we were going to carry on doing the show every night after the 12-hour show, and we'd have got close to like 90 hours and would probably not have made any more money for doing an extra 30 hours.
And it's not about the money, but it is about the amount of energy we can give to the rest of our lives.
It's not about the money, but it is about the money in some ways, because it is our job, but it isn't about the money. But also when we did the morning show, it creates its own different problems, but we felt happier. We felt happier. Catherine got to see more of her kids. I didn't have this kind of impending I'd wake up and everything would be focused towards Catherine coming around at 6:30, 7 when we'd eat and do the show. The whole day was focused towards that, to the point where I was dreading doing the show. Well, I was dreading doing the show.
You sometimes were, yeah.
Because at 10 o'clock in the morning, I was thinking about the show. The whole day was focused on the show. Whereas if we finished that show at 1:30, suddenly the rest of the day is free to read or study or walk or see my kids or live a little bit. So Roger says that you looked happier. Birth.
We birthed.
You from Hull? You birth. Thank you.
But also, we're able to have as much of a life as you can at the moment. We're still
Which
in
makes
lockdown.
The show's better.
But we've got more to say for ourselves,
So
rather
that's
than just
the plan.
going from show to show.
That's the plan. So we're going to stick to the 60 hours a month that we're contracted to do. We are old-fashioned, and in terms of work and in terms of radio. And, I was brought up by my dad that you work and you work and you work, and I believe you probably got the same ethic from your dad.
Yeah.
And also in radio, we've been in radio for the last 20 years. You have a show.
You turn up.
And you turn up and you do that show 3 days a week, 5 days a week, whatever it is, and that's your slot. And it's still only now sinking in. Twitch is not radio, and it's not TV. This is the Wild West. There are no rules. We make the rules. We may have egg on our face at the end of May when the viewers drop off massively. And again, really low viewers tonight because we've not been on for a week. That's the way it works on this thing. On radio, you wouldn't work 90 hours a week, though. A month, 90 hours a month. And you probably wouldn't do 90 hours a month either. But that's what I meant, a month. Apologies.
Some people do. Tony Blackburn probably worked that in
Jesus Christ.
in his pomp.
Give Blackburn and Dermot O'Leary. Give other people a chance.
Do you remember when we talked to Tony Blackburn and we said, how many stations are you working in at the moment? He said 6, and he listed 5, and he couldn't remember the 6, and we went, yeah, this one.
It's the one you're in now. By the way, if you're ever lucky enough to work in an office and Tony Blackburn comes in once a week,
delightful.
We were all a bit nervous of him the first couple of months because it's Tony Blackburn, and then when you realised, then he would feel a bit lonely. He'd come over to us.
Yeah.
Right, Kath, what you doing? He's like looking over his shoulder. What you doing? It's like Tony Blackburn. I think you realise he's such a nice bloke, Tony. I love him. I was invited to a lunch for Private Eye once. Jesus, I don't really know. I do know why. I was a little bit of a news story at the time, and they'd invited people that had got the sack from the BBC. Tony, I knew Tony was going, and we share the same agent, so I know him a little bit. And I messaged him and said, I'm really nervous. He said, I'm nervous as well. I tell you what, I'm here, but I won't go in until you come. We'll go in together. That's a classy move. Yeah. That is a classy move. So that is the plan. Hope you can come along. And if you can't, get the podcast. You can watch the VODs. We've got MZ here. We've got St. John here. There's great stuff out there. And we're really keen to do the evening show because we're going to miss our kind of American friends that we've made, Yeah. And MZ's coming to the UK. Come and do it, baby. We're going to miss our friends that we've made. And there is a genuine sadness. We're not going to see as much. It means we will probably see more of MZ because we can watch her channel. More of St. John because we can watch his channel. But maybe it won't be so... We'll make new friends as well. Screw those guys. Actually, screw them. Forget... What's her name? Emma and St. John. Forget them.
But the other thing is, nothing is forever. We don't know what's going to happen, do we? So we'll see. We'll see you.
I know what's going to happen. There's 2 streamers I've just mentioned are going to fail.
They are not going to fail. They're not going to fail. We won't allow it.
And a lot of people said, "Oh, that doesn't work for me," or "That works better for me."
How can it not work for you? You can get it whenever you want to. You know, I think we've stopped thinking of it as a radio show, and within those time constraints, maybe, you know, think about it more. When do you watch your favourite programme? Do you watch it when it's on live? And if you missed it, is that the end of it? You can still catch up.
Yeah,
the chat is something else. The chat is something else, but a fraction of the people that watch this show get involved in the chat.
Look, Hazy79 does a great, I don't want to call it a radio show because it's more than that. It does a great...
An experience.
It's an experience, Muggy Bonehead experience with our friend Mugger Harris, and he's going to post a link in the chat, hopefully, if he's allowed. I think he's allowed to. Right, we missed some phone calls. Let's go to this one first. Yeah.
Oh, hi.
Oh, hi.
Oh, hi there. It's the guy that wants to masturbate over my 70-year-old disabled mother.
I've already explained in the chat that it was you, that, you know, there was the honesty, the display of emotion that I just found so sexy.
I don't know if that's worse.
You dirty boy. Oh, I can listen.
Does that mean you're going to hang around like hospital waiting rooms and stuff?
Give me, Pete, give me your number. I will phone up and be honest to you anytime you want, you naughty boy. Go on, what you got for us, Peter? Peter Dylan Treshaw.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I really like your new schedule. I think it's a really good idea. I'd love to shake the hand of the person who came up with it.
Oh, Catherine?
I think you shake more than his hand.
Pete believes he came up with this before me or Catherine had the revelation the other day, and I talked about it in the mods chat in the Discord. And Pete went, actually, Doctor Who, once I finished bumming the TARDIS, I came up with that. I went, no, you didn't come up with that. I'll come up with that. I was rubbing off K9 and I came up with that. I said, you didn't. And then he mocked up like a post where he said, yeah, it was all nonsense, but let the kid have a break. Give the kid a break.
Well done, Pete.
Well done, Pete. You win a signed picture of Leela.
Oh.
We'd like that. There we go.
Thank you, Pete. Goodbye.
Second thrill in one day.
4 thrills in one day. Ooh. Yeah, baby. Come on now.
Hello?
Jeez,
why are you sounding so angry?
I'm not angry. I just don't know what's going on right now.
Are you trying?
I've been being told by people that you guys haven't made your big announcement yet. So I'm just trying to go with what I'm doing.
It.
Hang on, somebody just shouted you out and you're just yelling while you're playing PUBG. Oh my goodness, that's so loud. Hang on. Oh my, do you hear that? It's so loud.
What are you watching?
Don't you run from me right now, Ian. Hang on.
What the hell? Is he watching an old stream and thinking it's real?
What are you doing? Oh my goodness. Okay, I think it's over.
Oh my goodness. Okay,
oh my goodness. It's almost done. It's almost done. This is the longest death scene that you've ever done. Ian, you're dying on my stream right now.
What are you talking about?
Listen, okay? I'm doing the best that I can with what I got. I don't know what's happening
that money
right
that's
now.
for your down payment for your house, you spending it on weed. What are you talking about?
I wish that I had the luxury to do that. Anyway, I love you guys. I just wanted to see if you guys did your announcement.
Yes, we did it. I'm not playing PUBG.
Somebody did a shout out. I have a thing where if you shout out somebody on my stream, it plays a random clip from your channel.
How does someone do a shout out on your stream?
Don't do a shout out on my
stream.
stream.
I'm not going to. But how would someone if they wanted?
Exclamation point SO and then the name of the channel. It's going to be so loud. Watch it be loud.
There we go.
Did that work? Hang on, it's going to. It's going to.
Oh, Jesus.
Why can't they hear? They can't hear.
So,
you guys can't hear them.
You missed the announcement.
I'm ruining it. It's ruined. It's soiled. Hang on.
No, hang on. Goodbye. What?
Yeah.
What? He was using us as titty bait for his own channel.
Titty bait.
Don't you? That's not titty bait, and that's not titty bait.
And she's not. Don't you dare trash our queen.
Don't you? I will not have you trash my queen as titty bait. That's disgraceful. You're right, Jam Tarty.
I'm horrified.
Here come those kids again. Let's here come those kids. Shh.
It's going to be a good one.
Hey, Jamal here from Peckham Market. We got plantain 6 for £5 for sale. Are you interested, madam?
I don't like talking to racists, little boy. Goodbye. Hello, Alistair.
Hi, guys.
Hi, Alistair. Are you pretend crying or real crying?
Yeah, it's. I thought it was too good to last.
What?
You know what I mean?
What?
The good health.
Why? What's
the
happening?
Well, nothing other than I've gone downhill again.
Mentally.
Yeah.
Here's the great thing though I find now about when I go down mentally. I know that because I've been high or up or happy or whatever you want to call it, whatever works for you. I know, and that was temporary. I know that the downs are temporary as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not sustainable to be that up.
Yeah. I mean, it's for me. I'm finding the extremes. Like I thought I was the best I'd ever been.
Yeah.
Like before. And now, over the weekend, I had a really bad night last night. I didn't get a extra sleep, and I was, thinking all about the negative stuff and about the fact that I'm a piece of trash and all that. But you're right. It'll change.
I've been getting up for a lot of wheeze recently, partly because I'm getting old, partly because maybe I've got a weighted blanket and it's I was sleeping well and now I'm not sleeping so well. I don't know, but I've been getting up and I go for a pee and I have a really negative thought every time. I should be dead. I'm a piece of shit. Something horrible happened at the weekend. And do you know what I've been able to do the last 2 weeks is say to myself while I'm having a pee, I'll deal with this in the morning. I ain't going to deal with this now. It's 4:15 and I'm tired. And 4:15 is not the time to consider whether I'm a piece of shit or not. I will rethink. I'll log it and I'll rethink it in the morning. And do you know what? It's made such a difference, man.
Yeah, I suppose so. But no, I mean, I'm glad that you've done that. It's just, I just remember all the bad things I've done.
Yep.
In the past, and that defines me as, and all the rest of it. But
yeah, you think it defines you as that? You think it defines you?
Yeah.
It doesn't define you.
Well,
what you are now, what you are today, is what defines you.
Yeah.
And you are not those things. You're not the person that did those things.
No, I suppose not.
No.
And,
Here's another thought, Alistair. To a certain extent, that was about you surviving.
I guess, yeah, to some extent.
It's a coping mechanism that was unhealthy, but it was a coping mechanism.
Oh yeah, I mean, we go through life and we are programmed to fight or flight or do what we can to.
Alistair, as addicts and alcoholics, you and I both did terrible things. I don't know what I know some of the things you did. And you know some of the things I did, but that's it. But we both did terrible, terrible things to ourselves and to other people. We have not done those things today. And we are doing our best throughout our lives to make amends for those things that we did, whether it's directly to that person or indirectly to society. We are trying to, where we can, can't always do it, but where we can, we're trying to repay back the universe for the bad things that we did. What I did to partners and things like that. First of all, no one died. And I know people where that's not true of their history. And it doesn't define, what we did today defines us, Alistair. What we are right this second defines us.
Yeah.
And a lot of people in the chat are saying you're an inspiration.
Yeah, I mean, I get that, and I think the thing that I hang on to, which is really important for me is I pray to my higher power every night.
Yeah.
And that gives me a sense of, I'm hanging on at the moment, and it will it can change. It will change.
Yeah.
And just one of the things I tend to do when I'm in this mood is watch all sorts of shit on the television that makes it worse. But I just want to give you a couple of things.
Okay.
I've watched it. I watched a documentary about. It was an old documentary, but they've repackaged it for Sky Documentaries called Twist of Faith.
Okay.
And it's about a guy who was sexually abused by priests back in the late 80s, and this was coming out. And it was very explicit in terms of his descriptions, and he links up with other survivors, and it was kind of well put together. Obviously, very, I wouldn't recommend it to anybody if they would find that triggering. But one of the things that I never knew, not that I should have known, is that I think in the Catholic, this guy was a Catholic, and it may apply to other religions, but in canon law, which is what the church operates under, they are allowed to lie to others if it's going to preserve the church's reputation.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Which kind of makes sense, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So they're using that as a rationalisation. I'm not going to admit that I am a paedophile and an abuser because it's going to hurt the Catholic Church.
Yeah.
Which is nuts, right?
Yeah. Yeah. The world is nuts. Alistair, we're going to have to get the second recommendation on Friday.
All right.
Because I want to take one more quick call and then we're going to go. Because we're going to go. Because we're looking after this. Oh, let me just give that call back and then we're done. The news... Oh,
Yeah.
Hello? Yes?
I can't hear you.
I can... Well, so what?
Wait, let me take my AirPods out.
When you finish recording, please hang up or press the
It
hash.
was his answer phone. You absolute... Right, you're getting banned. Jeez, you're getting banned. You're getting banned. You get banned, blocked. That's quite a funny one, actually. Is that the same guy that I just blocked?
No.
What do you want? Stop playing. It is the same one. Yes.
Good one.
Goodbye. We missed Nigel. Hope the new slots will make sense. Might kill the show. Got to be worth a punt. It's got to be worth a punt.
The mobile number you've called
there we
is
go.
currently
We're done.
unavailable.
I mean, that's classic, isn't it?
We
that Nigel's not
are
available.
done. Let us go and find a stream. Let's go and raid someone. Let's go and raid someone. Let's go and raid that. MZ, you're not on, are you? No, we've got. Oh no, we've not raided. We've not raided Janelle for ages.
We haven't.
You should be in bed.
You should be. Who's 50 quid? Whoa. Whose game is 50 quid? Whoa. You snuck that in right at the end. Quiet bloke.
Thank you.
Merry Easter break and a happy new show schedule. Thank you. It's a punt. And punts are risky, but exciting. It's like when we changed it from twitch.tv Ian Lee to TLNA. It was nervy for a while, but it was the right decision.
Yeah.
Right decision.
There's only the two of us, which means that we are able to be more flexible, right? So
Yeah.
we've realised that these things are worth experimenting with. We're hoping that a lot of you will be able to come along with us for the ride. If not, we'll catch you on the recordings. But
Podcasts, the VODs, it's all there. Thank you, Quiet Bloke, for that money. Thank you, Max, as well.
Thanks so much.
That's very, very kind. Very, very kind. And also, it gives we're a year away, but we really are keen to go to America and to visit Janelle and Emzy and Sinjin and Matt
and all music considered.
The plan is taking shape. The plan is taking shape, whether they want us there or not. St. Jim, my apologies. We're going to go to Janelle because last time I tried to raid Janelle, I ballsed it up and we went to the wrong person and it was an embarrassment. So I apologise. So we're going to do it now.
We're going to be back on Friday night.
Back on Friday. Back on Friday.
But I'll be putting podcasts out every day. So there'll be something for you if that's what you want.
The Smiths, thank you for that message. Oh yeah, we'll go and see Imani too. We'll go and see Imani. Won't be able to. She'll be furious if we go to America.
She will seek us out.
So we're back on Friday. Enjoy your week. Stay safe. Look after this. Look after this. This is important stuff.
MZ?
Lots of love, MZ. I hope your period is good. Hope you have a good period. Bye.
Gifted subs. Wow, Justin.